avast, ahoy, and g'day once again to ye mateys. I be your warm and watertight host, Josh the Pirate, and it brings me an extremely large amount of joy to bring you back to another roll table for Tuesday with me lovely wife, Keren.
Hello, I am, as previously mentioned, Keren, sometimes known as the Mother of Bunnies.
Sometimes.
And from the list of adjectives Joshua helpfully pulled up, I'm going to say that I am...
Ha! That one.
Warm-hearted and well-adjusted.
That's it.
Am I lying? Sound off in chat.
Maybe.
I'm a performer, a writer, internet addict. You can follow me on Twitter, Mother of Bunnies, while we wait for that dumpster fire to finish. Don't say it. I can't do it. I can't do it with a straight face.
But then how can you...
No, you repost now.
Oh.
How depressing. You post and repost on Twitter. And I'm like, dude.
You could...
What?
Not Z'd. I think you should Z'd. W-themed adjectives? Well.
Yeah.
Oh, so many wells.
What else we got?
Well-adjusted, well-advised, well-argued, well-balanced. There was some really fun one. Whimsical.
Well off, if only.
Yeah, that would be nice. Winsome.
Winnable.
Wholesome.
Wondrous.
Worry-free.
Actually, yeah, I definitely
sometimes when I'm asleep.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I definitely didn't sit in the car for half an hour instead of bringing the groceries and started contemplating the
Did
meaning
wonder.
of life. Yeah, that's why it was such a
You
long
do that
trip
a
to
lot.
the shop, because I just sat there in the car going,
I
I
was
stay
like-
here,
She only had like 8 things to buy.
I don't have to do anything, and nothing can go wrong.
Yeah.
Winsome, what I am is winsome, radiant,
As in a dream come true. Yeah.
worthy. We are worthy, sweetie.
Yeah.
And we're definitely whimsical.
I'm wholehearted. I've been known to be whimsical. Yeah.
You're probably windproof. Me, not so much.
Windproof.
Yeah.
I'm extremely windy.
So the dog.
As is the dog.
Yeah, the dog still wins in there. But are you?
Enough?
What all enough?
I'm not certain. I've definitely Barbie enough. Barbie enough? Barbie and Barbie
I
enough?
personally strive to be an Alan.
Yeah.
Exist outside.
Be the Alan that you seek in the world?
Be, kind, supportive, feel no need to seize power, but also fully capable of beating up 20 fully grown men if the occasion calls for it.
Also, the only father in...
Yeah.
Because Alan is canonically...
The father of Midge's
the father
baby.
of Midge's... No, is it Midge's baby?
Who
Yeah.
is never born.
Yeah. Barbarian? Yes. That's been done. That's what Red's playing right now.
Yeah, there was art on Twitter of the Barbarian.
Yeah. I believe...
I am Ephraim.
Yes, she is Ken up.
I like to think that when she goes into a Barbarian rage, all her clothes turn pink.
Yeah. Excellent.
So you know how the Kens are just, their job is just a word. So Ken's
Yeah.
job is beach.
Beach.
What is your Ken job? No word.
Desk.
I'm gonna say
I
internet.
spent a lot of time at my desk.
My job is
Chair.
internet.
Yes. I've been interneting very hard today.
I go in the, basically all my work involves the internet in some capacity.
I think fantasy would be a good way to put it.
Storytelling?
Storytelling, Josh. Yeah.
Job is story.
Story. Yeah.
Barbie gets job titles.
Ken gets nouns. Yeah.
I love it when because being a, freelance creative, I do a lot of random jobs for people. And sometimes I'll get asked, like I was life modeling in a showgirl costume recently for an art group. And they were like, do you do this full time? And the urge
Like
to
what?
laugh
Be
hysterically
naked?
in their face. I wasn't even naked, I was in a showgirl costume.
That makes more sense, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you do this full time? And I was like, and like the urge to laugh hysterically and be like, you really think there's a full-time job market for showgirl art models? Like, that'd be cool.
Or just being a showgirl, I think might have been more what they were
like,
going
I
for.
make a decent portion of my income from art class modeling and showgirling.
Yeah.
So,
The occasional month, so do I.
Yeah. A lot of people have seen me naked.
Nowhere near as many as have seen me naked, but still quite a few.
Quite a lot. I imagine the number is...
Vast majority of women as well.
Surprisingly few men. Actually,
What,
no.
in the art classes?
Yeah, actually, no. It depends on the art group.
Yeah, no, but the only ones I ever get are birthday parties, which is always groups of ladies my mother's age, and often in the neighborhood my mother used to live. And I go like every time I go to one up this end of town, I'm just like taking my. I'm halfway between really hoping I don't and really hoping I do, because I'm actually okay with it.
It's them that's gonna feel awkward.
It's them that's gonna like, I know that penis's mother.
I was thinking about it actually, because it depends who I'm working for as an art model. Whether it's some
Lots
of the
of men,
groups
yeah.
are more man heavy, and some of them are very much
lady
groups.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I need to say, you've got Caleb. Thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag.
If you've got Caleb...
Well, I think we've all got Caleb now. I need to get checked.
If we're talking on a scale from bit of a sniffle to Black Plague...
No, I think it's more like...
Caleb fall?
Oh, yeah!
On
like
the viral spectrum.
It's Caleb. Just, you've got Caleb!
So you have to answer your phone now. You've got Caleb.
Oh, that's a good way of answering. It's like, you've got Josh. We've all got Josh.
I'm very boring. I'm like, hello, Keren speaking.
I favor Hello Walker, because that is the one that all of the males in my family use, and on the phone we all sound enough alike that no one can tell which one of us you've got. And it doesn't matter so much when you're answering your own phone, but we all started doing it on the home phone, and it was just as my brothers got older, there was just fewer and fewer people who got us wrong. But my mum does it too, and it was when you started getting mistaken for dad instead of mum, that was when you knew you'd gotten, your voice had broken properly.
It was weird because when we first started dating, mobile phones were a thing. We both had a mobile, but you still kind of got charged if you spent too much time calling people on your phone. There was no such thing as unlimited calls.
No.
So I would call on the landline, so then it went on my parents' phone bill. Kind of clever.
Nice.
And yeah, you get Hello Walker, and you basically had to take a 1 in 4 punt over which Walker had picked up the phone.
In fact, it was almost never me. I was usually not.
Yeah, I get Hello Walker. I'm like, Josh.
All right. Well, yeah. That's
us. Obligatory 5 minutes
banter.
talking crap.
Yeah, we are here to play some more Roll Table for Two, sent to us by the wonderful Mike Moans, care of Fights and Fancy, or the other way around. My mum would list all the children's names and then the pets to guess. Yeah. Just start at the top and work down. Yeah. I was constantly being verbally attacked for things I hadn't done well into my 20s. So Joshua, no, Hugh, that's the one. Never fucking Joe.
See, my very smart older sister named our pet rabbit Frisky, without knowing that Frisky didn't just mean, energetic and playful. So
he very much was, though.
He was, because he wasn't done, so he was a horny little bastard. Yeah, so that was fun. Occasionally being called Frisky. I don't know, that's sorry about Mum. Anyway.
Really? Your mum called you Frisky?
Yeah, I should rattle through the pet names, of which Frisky was one.
Yeah.
So Keren, Carissa, Emma, Frisky, Oscar.
Which one are you? Do you have
that
feathers
one,
or fur?
over there.
Take my dog Shark to the beach in Perth. Excellent.
I think you should.
I definitely think you should. Anywhere in Australia, really.
But you should give it a cutesy kind of...
Shark!
Like
it's different, though. You're like...
Sharky. You're like, Sharky! Come in, Sharky! And everyone's going to think you're calling the sharks into the beach. Like
I'm still love Typhoid.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a fun one.
It's my old dog's name. But the new dog, Siri, you shout Siri at the park, people are like, is he looking for his phone?
Occasionally the phone was...
Siri, come here! Yeah, occasionally.
Anyway, this is the very pretty book that we're playing from.
This is the second session.
Yes, this is the DMless RPG.
Yep.
So we have finished session 1, which took place in a little village.
And it took about a session and a half, really. I would imagine each one of these comes to about 3 hours. Because
That
the last
was-
time was, yeah, I think it was about 2.5 hours, and then the one before was 2.5 as well. But we spent half of it making characters, so
Yeah.
yeah,
And
3 to 4 hours is
and
probably
we
about
were
right.
still kind of working out the kinks as well.
Dad had to run down the street screaming, "Elvis, Elvis, come back, come back!" Sorry, man, the king has gone home.
So not my dog, but lived in the house I lived in, so therefore we were forced to interact. And every now and again he would get out and run like down the street. And I remember running after him once, trying to catch him, and he nearly got hit by a 4-wheel drive. And the woman rolls the window down, and he was like, "Control that bloody dog!" And I'm like, "Yes, because if I could control the bloody dog, I would have let him run out on the road in front of your
Control
car."
your dog.
I'm like, not my
mine.
dog, which is why I'm not in control. But there's no one else here, so it's my job. So brief recap. We are playing Sassa and Fras, who are loosely inspired by Castlevania characters, Trevor Belmont and Cypher. So Sassa is a mage. She has a scholar origin with a light archetype. So yeah, magic user revolving around light. So I have like a magic orb that I can throw at people, and I have blooming restraint where I can make plants grow to tie people up.
So fewer like magical options, but I think there's a fair amount of like narrative freedom there as well. Like low level like prestidigitation style shit you just do to a degree. The problem and it's not a problem so much as the limitation of not having a DM specific is that they can't react to whatever bullshit you throw at it. So I was like, I would like to do this. That isn't technically in the rules, but it's pretty cool, and it's an interesting way to utilize that ability or flavor to add to this situation. The DM can't go, cool, yes, absolutely. However, there is a caveat in the rulebook that says, if you want to change it, fucking do it. So you can just sort of arbitrarily say, that's cool, I'm going to do that. And you do have your fellow player who you could sort of negotiate with as well.
You kind of have to agree whether you're gonna like not do something or do something. Like we arbitrarily gave ourselves some money because we realized we didn't have any.
And my background, I should well, humorously, I was broke as fuck, whereas you actually had some money. Though we've got 100 gold pieces now.
Yeah.
Because I won the cleaving contest. And then we wrangled a bear.
That was possessed by the Grimed, which are the evil shadow monsters that live in the realm. And the King's Guard saw us performing this act of heroic, daring brilliance. And we're now being taken to meet the king.
Was it Sir Kevin or something? There
yeah,
was a...
Martin?
Martin.
I think it was Martin.
I am Sir Martin, Duke of Chutney. Martin with a Y.
Yes,
yeah.
Martin with a Y is escorting us to the capital. The court's capital.
That's Martin there. You want to see? It's Martin. And this is artwork done by one of the people who wrote the book as well.
I believe
What's the lady name?
Poppy.
Poppy.
Though actually Poppy and Sammy
could be...
could really go either way gender.
Well...
I assume Poppy is female.
Yeah.
And Sammy
Poppy tends to be gender femme. However, Sammy is in either way. But I don't know...
Because when Fights and Fancy were in chat, he said his wife did the art. So I'm assuming
they
that's
said their wife. I don't necessarily know they were identified as male.
They might neither of them be male.
Who knows?
We don't.
That would be fine. Will you get to meet the princess? I hope so. And if the princess is called Penelope, if she's not, she is now. In fact, I kind of wanted to be a queen.
Sorry, Fights and Fancy. If we meet a female ruler, they are now called Penelope.
Just deal with it. Sorry, buddy.
Because it is the kingdom of Benevole, so she must be
Penelope of Benevole. Queen Penelope. Yeah.
I have a feeling that
and she'll have a butler called Parker.
Why do I feel like one of us is going to end up with a character called Penelope?
Milady Penelope Benevole.
Anyway, tell them who Fras is.
Yeah, and Fras is based on Trevor Belmont. He's a grumpy, disheveled fighter type, bit of a brawler. He comes from a long line of monster hunters, traveling tough guys. Really, I don't want to say monster hunters or even adventurers particularly, but yeah, he was trained from a young age to be good at what he does, but never really sort of properly bought in to the family thing, I think, until his parents died tragically in a fire. And he was like, oh, there is no one else to do this. Well, until something better comes along, I guess I better follow the path laid down for me. But he has a side story in gardening, which I flavor as more like he is just part of his training was sort of a knowledge of horticulture. But
Well, if you're on the road, you kind of need to know what plants are going to kill you and which ones aren't.
well, exactly, and that's sort of the element of things. Yeah, if he had to stop tomorrow and take up an actual profession that isn't just traveling around murdering stuff, then he'd probably like to be a gardener. That's the kind of guy he is. And he's currently dressed very fancily in a lovely new robe.
Oh, yeah, you want
with
a tunic.
Tunic with around the cuffs and embroidered barrels for winning the barrel run,
Gives you special
barrel
abilities
chase,
as
and it
well.
also makes me faster apparently, which is good because I roll like shit. So
Whereas I have a half-eaten bag of biscuits that
give you one AC, AP.
yeah gives me, I can get an ability point back if I want to, but it's just reset for the new session, so I have
Yeah.
all my ability points anyway. I have my medallion. that
Did we
gives
at the
me-
end get more ability points?
Actually, you have my medallion at the moment. unless you
I
gave
did.
it
Well,
back.
I gave it back.
Cool. I have the medallion that gives me +1 in spirit. So my spirit's actually max, because the max you can get plus 10 of your ability.
If you add anything else to it, can I have that medallion?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so like we have diplomacy, strength, finesse, awareness, and spirit.
Yeah.
And I have a +4 spirit before the +1 from the
Your
medallion.
ability points actually go up by 5.
Yeah, so we have 20 ability points.
And we also gain any one ability from the list below. I took Cleave and you took Resilience.
I don't believe I've written it in there. So we now have 20 ability points, which is basically like what you use to do things.
AP, yeah.
Oh, actually, I did write resilience down. There you
Yeah, it's in collected.
go. Which basically cancels any effects. So if someone has like scared or weakened me, I can use that too.
Not be.
Yeah, I can like Super Saiyan that shit away.
And you have 20 ability points.
Yeah.
Yes. And I need to write that down as well.
I do love this note down the bottom because we did some backstory stuff. And mine is, there is a bounty on my head over a bar fight I did not start, but Fras jokingly said I did.
And then everyone was like, well, stop her! And then I was like, oh, wait, hang on.
It's like, well, you forced that.
Sorry, it was a joke. But this is kind of funny, so... that was not the joke I was making, but it's actually a better one. You carry on. We have traveled to...
We are currently on the road from Ivyfell to the court's capital.
Right.
So I can read.
I rolled a 5 on that chart.
Oh, okay, cool. The journey from Ivyfell. You were left with very little time between your dramatic fight at the cleaving contest and leaving Ivyfell behind you. The King's Guardsmen were quick to round the pair of you up and encourage you to depart with them. Encourage is doing a
Strong
lot of
word.
heavy
Yeah,
lifting
that's
there.
yeah.
Ivyfell sits halfway between the border and the court's capital, on one of the main roads that leads straight to the king's doorstep. The journey, though long and easy, is quick to become dull. Is that my phone?
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was set to vibrate at the moment.
That's
Which
good.
I wouldn't have noticed at all if it hadn't been against something that jangled. I'm going to put it in my pocket where
Yeah,
it won't make noise.
You do that.
As fields of golden wheat roll past the windows of your cart, take some time to consider what is on your character's mind and roll on the table below if you're keeping watch for anything interesting. So Josh rolled a 5.
I did, because I would be keeping watch for anything interesting. I'm a little bit like... I've encountered a few grime in my time, but... Bear possessed by grime? Ugh.
You wrangled that bear.
I wrangled it so good. I wrangled it solo.
I sort of kind of helped.
Yeah. You didn't not help.
I distracted it.
No, not really. I was
Okay.
a bit melee with it the entire time. You threw fireballs at it and didn't do anything.
Yeah, I
then.
just rolled really shit.
You did tangle it.
Yeah, because I can't miss with that one. Why do you think I swapped and did that? Turns out you didn't need it anyway because he killed on the next.
Yeah,
But, you know,
and the next hit I did, I maxed
you
damage.
used
It's
stupid math.
absurd.
Anyway, option 5 is You are both invited to try driving the cart for the afternoon. One of you does a good job, while the other almost steals the cart into a ditch. The experience becomes an amusing anecdote. So which one of us steers the cart?
Oh, definitely, you're better at steering than I am, I think.
Cool.
I think because you're from traveling folk.
Yeah, I am accustomed to cart.
Just normally just ride the horse rather than the cart. That's, yeah. Thanks for the offer, but I think Sass probably better at this than I am.
And Sass totally pressures you to have a go because she can tell how
I'm
bored
good.
you are.
I'm good.
No, it's in the book. You have to crash it into a ditch.
Oh, well, if it's in the book... Yeah! Ah! I told you! Did I not tell? I told you!
Oh, man, it's almost like those horses wanted to humiliate you by crashing the cart.
Well, then they failed. I'm not humiliated, because I said before I did that would happen. If anything, I was 100% right, and I did what I intended. And now, I can go back to not driving.
I will continue driving, because I can be trusted. Fortunately, the cart is not broken.
I could be trusted too, just to do different things.
Yeah, absolutely. If anything needs punching, we'll ask.
Or running into a ditch. That was what I was thinking.
Running away from barrels.
Very good at that too.
Cleaving.
I'm actually very good at running away from lots of things.
Responsibility.
I don't know.
Your past.
Yep, those two.
True love.
Hurts.
Fate.
That, you need to stop now.
The city out.
Or I will wrangle you.
The city outskirts.
You saw what happened to the bear, right? That wasn't...
The road eventually rolls over a gentle hill to reveal the glistening monolithic shards of crystal that jut out of the ground. Angular and giant, their imposing structure forms tiers, growing in height and width until reaching the very center of the capital, where the carved form of the king's palace can be seen even from the outskirts of the city. The quartz capital is unlike any other town in Benevole. Unlike settlements that have been built around the community's needs and resources, the capital purely appears to be chosen based on its unique geography. No other place is home to these grand crystals, and it is only here that those wealthy enough can have miners carve grand holes inside the glassy stone. It is easy to see why the followers of the astral gods chose this place as the home of their faith. A crystal cathedral that captures and reflects light in a perfect expression of their power.
Oh, they're pretty.
Not much privacy though, if everything's see-through.
Yeah, it depends if it's cloudy crystal or not.
Yeah, the cloudy bit is the bathroom.
It's a very popular trade in this city, is laminate. Guys making sort of thin plastic laminate sheeting that you can stick onto bits of the quartz to change make it translucent.
Alright, so we have to make an awareness roll each as the cart rolls through the city gates.
Ooh.
And basically, we get to read different sections depending on
7.
7. And let's see if I can go even higher. Nope.
A 2.
Alright. So we don't get to read the third one, but we do get to read the first 2. The cart rocks on unsteady cobblestones as the road changes from dirt to stone. Cool shadow passes over the tops of your heads as you move into the streets beneath towering buildings. Their windows are full of colourful glass, and busy shops slip past the moving convoy. Light dances off the many reflective crystals that stab out of the ground and gutters like stubborn weeds. When the road widens and empties out, the buildings become more and more decorated. A grand stone building framing an ornately carved crystal stands at the end of the path. The king's palace looms ahead. Your procession draws attention.
Procession, is it?
Yeah, you are quick to notice the people who step aside for the king's guardsmen, looking over their presence with worried or surprised eyes. Just like the rumours that passed around Ivyfell, with their appearance, it appears as though it is not that common to see them away from the king's side, even within the capital walls. The few that notice the pair of you are doubly surprised and turn to whisper to one another. You are even more of a mystery to them. Who are the pair of you? And what did you do to earn an escort from the king's guardsmen?
I, make a point of being seriously, casual. Though it does occur to me to maybe pretend that I was being kidnapped.
Help, help! Someone rescue me! Hi,
Panicked looks. Hey, Dak.
Our travellers have arrived in the court's capital. We're being escorted to the king's palace. 'Cause we're very busy important people.
Very fancy.
Very fancy. The King's Palace. The cart comes to a rumbling stop inside the palace courtyard. Sir Martin walks to the rear of the vehicle and nods to the two guardsmen that have been seated with you. Thank you for your patience. He has a hard time hiding an exhausted sigh from the journey. I believe we already have someone waiting to mark your arrival.
Wow.
Very important. He nods past the cart to a figure stood at the steps leading to the palace doors. We'll catch you around later. You can always find us in the barracks if you're not too important to mix with the likes of us. One of the guardsmen beside you grins and hops off the cart, stretching out and getting ready to return to duty. Sir Martin shakes his head, but waits for the two of you to disembark before accompanying you to the palace steps, leaving his men behind at ease. Your approach to the steps is watched by the eagle eyes of an elderly woman, adorned in silk and wearing a veil over her hair and half of her face. She curtsies as you approach, refusing to shake with frailty as she quickly stands again. Her thin lips are pressed tight in a measured look, weighing you both by your actions. Heroes of Ivyfell, word has reached us here. She waits to hear your response. How do you choose to respond to her? Sassa will do as elegant a curtsy as she can manage when she's not wearing a fancy dress.
How is Sassa dressed?
Oh, just kind of loose trousers, tunic,
Okay.
shirt.
Like culottes?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Boots.
Hey, Kate.
Hey, Kate.
How are you?
Lurk mode dinner very much.
Dinner mode.
I love that.
Dinner mode activated. I don't know what that was.
I need to do that. How's Fras gonna greet this old lady?
I think with surprising courtesy. Like, surprising mostly to Sassa, who's never really seen him be... he bows very smartly. With the movements of somebody who learned this by rote. Like, it's just second nature to him. That's how you bow to people. He hasn't done it in a while, but boom, yes, knocks out a perfect courtly bow. And yeah, very politely, far more politely than he's been the entire time, the entire journey. He greets the lady in turn.
Yeah. Oh. Your deeds in Ivyfell have greatly impressed the king, and he has seen to it that the two of you shall be rewarded for your aid against the grimed beast that was put to rest, she stiffly announces. These rewards shall be presented to you in front of the council, but it is my duty to make sure that both of you shall first be made ready to accept them. Oh, I sense a courtesy lesson coming up. Without waiting for another response, she turns on her heel and begins a slow climb up the steps to the large doors beyond, continuing her lecture. Sir Martin follows behind you both, his face a stern expression of duty, refusing to reveal his thoughts. I am sure that you have never held audience with the king before, therefore you should know...
This king.
Like, no. Therefore you should know that in doing so there are certain rules on how one should look and speak in his presence. We shall equip you with rooms that you may use when you are at attendance here, and have you both washed and dressed in slightly better attire, still befitting of your background, but nicer. Which is honestly a cool sledge and your barrel tunic, which is amazing.
Yeah, look.
She ignores...
I've been on the road for a few days.
We probably smell pretty good. And by good, I mean terrible. She ignores any protests and steps past the threshold of a door held open for her by a royal guard. Once inside, you're welcomed by marble walls and richly carpeted floors. Statues and vases made from fractured crystal line the long hallway that stretches out either side of you. A handful of servants join the elderly woman's side, one providing her with a crystal walking stick. And
this is like, Fras would notice that and like, why did she not take that with her down the stairs? That would be the most useful time to have that, surely.
The others listening to her commands before she turns back to the pair of you. Please take this. She holds out 2 neatly folded cloaks in a deep and regal red. These are the first of your rewards. The staff here will take you to a room of your presence and see to it that you are made presentable. I shall join you outside the King's Hall once you are done. And we may both add Royal Cloak to our inventory.
Nice.
Which
Royal
should have
Cloak.
a description at the back with details about it. Ooh. The Royal Cloak will grant you free boarding in any tavern or inn so long as it is equipped. So if we're wearing the fancy pants cloak, it will give us a room for nothing, which is great.
Free board in any tavern.
Honestly, that would be a really good thing to have in the real world. You just turn up at the Hyatt in your cloak and you're like, room please. Like I could go.
I live here now.
Yes, show me to the pool. All right, a moment.
Not. You'd still have to buy food, but that's still pretty dope.
Oh yeah. Like that deal we got in the hotel in Vietnam was basically paid for your food and the taxes, and then not for anything else.
Do it again. Gonna do it again. Yeah.
A moment to catch your breath. Sir Martin accompanies you as a jumpy and nervous-acting serving boy insists you follow him down the hallways until reaching a building beyond the royal apartments. Keeping his voice low, Sir Martin apologizes on behalf of the old woman. She's a sour prude who delights in micromanaging others, he says, with the expression of a man who has received similar treatment.
She didn't seem interested in the fact that I actually have met the king before.
The serving boy stops
It was a while ago. And he was an ass.
Shh, we're in a palace.
He and I are like the same age. I was 6.
Don't say. You know who is an ass when the who is in the building. And all these guards and people there whose jobs revolve around protecting him and his no doubt excellent reputation.
I'm sure he's nice now.
I love the king.
I've never met him.
The serving boy stops in.
I don't want to be too forward.
I really like the king.
That's very forward. You've never met him. I hear good things.
I said, I look to like if looking like he moves.
Yes.
But no more deeper line down my eye.
Oh, good line.
Yeah.
I'd look to like if looking like he moved. Julia?
Yeah. She's saying that she's...
Yeah, I want to like him.
She'll
if
be like,
that's
"What?
important.
Hey, Paris sounds great. I'll meet him. I'll see if we're down."
If you want me to like him, I'll try to like him.
I think it's been your self-restraint to make it fly. Basically, if you tell me that it's all good, I'll see if I can be even more into him. Really romantic shit.
Yeah.
The serving boy stops in an empty hall, sparsely furnished with a large table and chairs, some reclined behind windows and some seated behind the cold fireplace. I'm sorry, it's not ready yet. We weren't certain when you would be arriving, but I can tend to the fire immediately while you get acquainted with your new, home. With another nervous swallow and some enthusiastic nodding, the serving boy hurries over to the fireplace. You've been given an apartment to stay in while you're in residence as the king's guests. It looks as though they've given you all the space that you would require while here. On the following page, you'll see a layout of the apartment which you might wish to furnish and decorate to your liking. If you choose to remain as guests for the foreseeable future, the staff of the castle are happy to find furniture to help you feel more at home. We've got a little map.
It's quite a bit bigger than our house in London.
So this is presumably the room we're in right now, and we've got a little bathroom there. It's probably some sort of
Closet.
Water closet?
Water closet?
Perhaps. And then we have presumably 2 rooms for us to set up in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, hell yeah. Bay windows.
Sassa's going to be like, I will need a chaise and a bed and a cupboard for my many possessions. And she holds up like a tiny little rug.
Yeah. She's got like the pole with the napkin on the end. Her bundle.
Yes. Like 1 change of clothes.
Yeah.
And
maybe.
all the toiletries she stole
Yeah,
from the tavern.
it's mostly the toiletries.
It's mostly the toiletries she stole in Ireland.
And I would lean in and say, don't waste the toiletries. They'll probably have more.
There's definitely some in the ration shit. Sir Martin remains on watch in the hall while you both become acquainted with your new residents, keeping a guardsman's watch, but allowing you both privacy. Sir Martin seems nice. The sweet smell of a bath drifts from one of the smaller rooms as handmaids finish pouring oil into a steaming copper tub. They curtsy on your arrival and clear the room. They leave behind fresh sheets and towels to dry off. A warm stove in the room boils another pot of water to add to the bath if you need it. Do you take this opportunity to have a warm bath? Do you have any other rituals you perform around this activity? Is it one you each do in private or openly with each other?
I think if Sassa invited him to share, he definitely would. But he's a gentleman.
Yeah.
For all
I think she'd be like, I'm going first, I'm not as dirty. And he's like, into the bathroom.
I will take longer. There's more of me.
And you can hear her like rummaging through the toiletries. It's like, ooh, ah.
Leave some for me.
Fras, they've got lavender-scented soap.
Peasants.
It's
low-key Nevermore there. Peasants.
If you choose to, the bath is warm and quick to relieve any aching bones from the long journey in the cart. The wafting smells of herbs and flowers put you in a relaxed and sleepy mood. It leaves your skin soft and glowing. The next roll you make can be made with advantage due to taking a good rest.
Nice.
And, like, Sassa comes out of the bathroom and she looks, like, radiant. And, like, her hair's wrapped up in a towel. And she's like, that bath is amazing.
She comes out and finds Fras in almost nothing. He's in, like, his breechcloth, essentially. And he is doing something she hasn't seen him do in years.
Ooh.
Hasn't done on the journey up. He is doing a martial kata.
Oh, cool.
He's like, there's a lot of space and a nice flat carpet. I thought I'd, you done?
Yes.
And he is gleaming. In fact, he looks healthier and more sober, and possibly even cleaner than he's looked the entire time so far since they met up at the Cleaving Festival. It's like, this actually got him. This is what he needed. He needed a purpose.
Aww.
He's just sort of been bumming around doing whatever. And yeah, that workout was good for him. Yeah. So he is going to have a quick bath, more of a rinse, but I would say I will claim the same benefit because I think it's what it has benefited him in the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Within your room, whether you choose to share a space or sleep separately, you each have a collection of clothes laid out in your bed. Made of finer silks and velvets than you have ever had the fortune to wear before, the servants have left you ample choice in terms of style and shape to the clothes. This could be an opportunity for you to try something new.
They've done something very odd here, by the way. It's like they gave me only female clothing. It's very strange.
Yeah, they've only given me men's clothing. It's very odd. Should we swap? Who's the king we're talking
Martin,
about?
like, looks in and we're like, we're taking the piss, Martin, don't worry.
It's fine, Martin.
Swap rooms. I was like, I was confused because the walls were pink in there. Everyone knows I like pink.
Pink is a lovely colour.
It's very strident. It's quite a masculine colour.
Take this time to describe to one another your chosen outfits as you each return to the hall, revealing yourselves. Do either of you make any changes to your usual look? Or do either of you look uncomfortable in such expensive clothing? What are your reactions to one
another? There are pantaloons.
Yes.
There is the big sleeved puffy shirt. There is a ruff. Stockings with buckled shoes. And a pompadour wig. And he clearly hates it, but he has also absolutely nailed it. like up to and including a beauty mark. It's like, if you're gonna do anything, do it properly.
Cool.
I hate it.
Didn't realise those sorts of wigs were back in fashion.
I don't know that they are, but it was in here. And like I say, if you're gonna do anything, do it properly. Even it's something like this. Lean in is what I say.
Well...
Who knows? If it's not in fashion, it will be soon.
We'll be after you for one that says stylishly.
I didn't say that, but we saved Ivyfell. From one bear. Whatever would they have done?
It was a very nippy bit. Let us say Sassa has chosen a blue silk gown. And it's a very fine silk, so it kind of flutters as she walks. And it's got like the long kind of draped sleeves that almost touch the ground.
Oh, Guinevere.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's got like a matching belt. It's got like gold detail, gold embroidery on it.
I love that I've gone something hugely impractical and yours is actually like not impractical, but not super practical, but actually like quite attractive.
Yeah, she looks like, because it's silk, it's a little bit clingy. So it's actually like, it's not super immodestly cut, but it's still like, she looks a bit sexy. And she's like kind of brushed her hair back off her face because it's too short to put up, and she's put like a little jeweled band in there to match.
Nice.
And when she walks, you can see she's wearing these delicate little beaded slippers underneath the dress. And she's like, the shoes are hideously uncomfortable, but very pretty.
That's how you know they're good.
Oh, yes. So if we have to run, these are coming on.
If I have to do anything, this is gonna just break. And she notices that in fact that not the shirt, but the waistcoat over it it's doing its best to hold him in. They maybe underestimated the size, or very tight is the fashion. But yeah, if he breathes in deeply, off goes those buttons.
Are you planning to eat at this feast at all?
There's a feast.
Well, it says we're going to dine
Oh.
with the king.
Oh, don't worry then. No, the king always gets very small meals.
Oh.
Because he has all of these big fancy do's. He'll have 3 or 4 of them a week. He'll put on so much weight if he eats like a good meal at all of these fancy feasts.
Well, and probably when you're sitting down, you could probably unbutton the bottom and no one would notice.
I have unbuttoned the bottom one. You should unbutton the bottom one. The bottom one should
I
always
meant
be
you can
unbuttoned.
go a few more up.
I
if
intend
you
to.
need
Yeah. No one will notice. Let's set the table. And I'll just suffocate on the way back to the room. Yeah.
It's like normally.
If it's a good feast, then everyone will be drunk by the end and no one will care.
You can just unbutton.
And if it's a bad feast, then I won't need to unbutton it.
Cool. And Sassa will like, she'll do a 12 for you when she comes out.
Yeah, it's very, very fashionable. Very, you look very nice.
Thank you. I like it. Reminds me of water made into a dress.
Yeah. We'll have to see if we can get you that next time.
Oh, I don't know. I think we
As that image flashes across his mind. Basically, the form-hugging thing that she's currently wearing, but more see-through.
And she kind of gives you a look that, like, I think I know what you mean, and that's kind of funny. And like, the shoes are uncomfortable, but she's fine with the dress, by the
Yeah.
way. Silk's nice to wear.
Sure.
Silk.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like a flowy cut. Like it's clingy, but she's not super restricted by it.
Yeah, you get to the door, and then Fras goes, No, I'm sorry, I can't, I'll be back. And he goes away, comes back about 20 minutes later, there's a rummaging. You hear a rustling and a rummaging, and the shirt has stayed, literally everything else has changed. And he's gone for, it's nowhere near as fashionable, but it's just well made, really nicely made. But yeah, the wig is gone. He's now wearing breeches and leather boots to the knee. He looks like it would be what a nobleman would wear to go out riding for the day.
Posh practical.
Posh practical, yeah.
Oh my goodness,
The
that
only-
should totally be a genre of dress.
Posh
It's like, what's the dress
practical?
code? Posh practical.
Hell yeah. There is still the beauty mark,
Does it seem
but it might be that he's just forgotten.
Sassa doesn't say anything.
No.
Go. So
He comes on like, there, better.
you look much more comfortable.
I look much more me. The king didn't hire another pompous prat. Well, he hired me, but, you know.
Only occasionally a pompous prat.
Exactly, thank you. Hey.
So Martin clears his throat as the pair of you finish talking. Stood by the door to the hall, he gives a short, stiff bow and announces, "His Majesty has sent word that he is ready to receive you both. We should make our way to the throne room promptly. No doubt he wants to hear your story directly."
Now, the Queen will be there too, right? I heard beautiful things about Queen Penelope.
And so Martin's just like, I don't.
Never mind. Well, we'll find out. Lead the way, Martin.
And as we're walking to the throne room, if you look at Sassa, you'll notice she's gliding a little more than she normally does with her walk.
Yeah. Oh, I am doing very little other than looking at Sassa. Yeah. Fras will like first so that he can walk a step behind and admire.
Dirty boy. Sir Martin accompanies you as the same serving boy from before jumps to attention near the elaborately carved crystal door to the throne room. He hurries to open the door for you and calls ahead to the small group gathered within. "The heroes of Ivyfell, my king!"
I really wish people would stop saying that.
A little awkward, and I didn't really do much. I was just kind of there.
No, but you didn't.
Inside the room is lit in a kaleidoscope of reflected light, the marble floor and pillars looking plain against the grandeur of the carved crystal chairs and decorations. Moving down an aisle towards the royal plinth, you're both confronted with the sight of a man draped in deep purple silk robes. He returns your look with a judgmental gaze. Here, my beloved heroes! A younger, bright-eyed man wearing a golden circlet pushes past and steps down from the plinth to extend a hand out to each of you and shake it. "You must tell me about the beast! I cannot wait to hear you regale your tale of heroism!" The man before you is King Elgar III. Judging by Sir Martin's abrupt drop to one knee and the respectful silence of the other guests around them. "Sire, if I may interrupt your enthusiasm," the robed man interrupts, the curl of a held-back sneer reaching his lips. Oh, that's a good turn of phrase.
Held back sneer.
Held back sneer.
Yes.
"But I must remind you that the act of interfering with the grind is a task that only your trained soldiers are permitted to do. Their so-called heroism in Ivyfell was beyond reckless and could have resulted in their injury or loss of life, not to mention putting the rest of the village in danger. The king's men had already been sent to deal with the situation before their involvement. It is either negligence that your men did not get there first, or suspicious that 2 civilians beat the beast single-handedly."
Well, next time we won't bother then.
Not only yourself, but the rest of the room look equally surprised to hear the robed man's interjection. Sir Martin tenses, and King Elgar looks positively scolded as red reaches his cheeks. What is your defense against this man's accusation? Choose who will roll diplomacy between the two of you to see his response.
You got any pluses in diplomacy? Because I don't.
Nope.
Yep. Then I'll say something along the lines of...
You gotta roll for it.
Oh, okay. 2. Yeah, that fits. Yeah, I think I was like, well, next time we won't bother then.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bit, we've been brought here under false pretenses. I apologise. I thought we were here to be thanked for...
Yeah, I didn't realise we were supposed to let it kill everybody.
Yeah, no. If only we had not involved ourselves, then no one would have gotten hurt. Oh, wait. Involving ourselves, no one got hurt. And, in fact, we prevented a bear possessed by the grind from wrangling a whole bunch of villagers because they were all paralyzed by its grimy nature.
Yeah.
And
You ever met one of the Grimes? They do this weird thing where they get into your head and you're like, wow, I can't do anything. And
but no, Sass, this man knows better than us. That's fine.
oh, absolutely. He knows exactly how to deal with this sort of situation.
Yeah. Well, then we'll leave it to you. Absolutely. I apologize for getting involved.
The robed man scoffs, turning back to one of the crystal chairs beside the throne that clearly belongs to an authority figure. Lovely excuse. I should keep my judgments in case you prove them true. Play the dick. I must apologize on behalf of our high priest. King Elgar attempts to laugh off their discomfort, and I just a word vomit of sarcasm. Actually, you know what he should say? He just looks at, it's like, we do all this. And just like, should I let them all die? You should let them all die. We didn't realize we were supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Should...
It's probably what the gods would want, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And he's just like, not honest.
Neither am I.
Keep my
It's been a
judgment.
5-day journey, and
Honestly,
look, it's a very nice jacket,
honestly,
but I...
if it weren't for all the toiletries I was about to steal. from
Exactly.
this place. I mean, use.
You can't steal something that's been given to you.
Lord Verney often acts as my skepticism and practical judgment in place of what I lack. It is with hope and optimism that I am thankful for your heroism in Ivyfell. Such acts of kindness for others should be valiantly repaid, not met with suspicion.
I mean, traditionally, yeah.
That's what we're hoping for.
I wasn't hoping for anything. I was just like, oh no, there's an angry, angry bear. And I hadn't wrangled a bear in years.
Shaking off his earlier mood, the king turns to one of the noble ladies by him, presumably Penelope,
Ooh, 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 ooh.
and takes the box she is holding.
Is she hot?
It doesn't say.
Damn it. I am making an executive decision here that
She's
she
a
is
smoke show?
smoking 10 out of 10.
Inside this chest, you will find 100 gold to be shared between the two of you, along with your own copy of the royal crest. This should be enough for you to each enjoy yourselves in our markets. The king grins and holds out the box for you to take. Add 1 royal crest and 100 gold to your inventory.
That would be 200 gold.
I believe we're splitting both those hundreds. No, actually.
Are we? I won the 100.
Well, then you have 150 and I have 50.
I mean, you can have.
I didn't help.
I'm not gonna. Well, no, the 100 is for winning the cleaving contest,
Yeah,
which
you
you
get
did
that.
not do.
No.
But
This we're sharing.
yeah.
So we both now have the royal crest and 100 gold in our inventory. The royal crest, not the royal quest, the can be exchanged for any one item at any shop without having to pay the price. But we
I'll
only have
take
one.
the shot.
I encourage you both to take the rest of the afternoon to relax and work out some of those beast-slaying muscles before we talk of quests night over dinner. King Elgar rails you both with a look of anticipation. There may yet be a future for you here, and we are eager to employ your help. The audience...
I mean, yeah, it might make your high priest feel an awful lot better if you just inducted us into the guard or something. That would mean we're qualified all of a sudden magically because we're members of the guard now.
Do you do that thing where you deputize someone?
Ooh, can I be a knight?
Your audience with the King of Benevole comes to a modest close as you are dismissed with your gifts. And
Apparently
so
not then.
Martin accompanies you out of the room. So let's not rush into anything.
Knight, Martin, how did you become a knight?
I married a lady.
No.
Penelope? In the palace hall.
You're obsessed with this Penelope lady. Who is this?
Having ended your audience with the king, you have been given several options of what you would like to do with your free time until dinner this evening. We can visit the city markets, return to our apartments and relax, explore the palace, or while we are debating between these options, Sir Martin pipes up to offer you both some training alongside the kingsmen in the yard by the barracks. Unless otherwise stated, at the end of your time on each activity, you can return here to do another activity.
Oh, cool. I'd definitely like to do some training.
We just got pretty.
That's true.
Sassa's like, I have to do my hair. We'll have
You
to
don't have to do any training. You
No,
could go to
no,
the markets.
No, it would
Here, have 100 gold pieces.
No, you're right. We should take advantage of this opportunity, and just means we get to have a lot of fun.
Why do I feel that that is the reason you said yes to this?
Absolutely. Martin will have to change because...
Yeah, I don't want to ruin...
Yeah. We're going to keep it nice.
It's a very practical but fancy outfit.
Alright, so to go to the Kingsman at the barracks, we have to go to page 34. Okay.
While we're getting changed, Fras says, look, you did most of the heavy lifting on that bear situation, so you should probably have 70, say, of the gold.
The bear that I kept missing?
I didn't see you miss.
Oh, I missed.
Well, I think 70 is fair. It's decent.
This is because you already won 100 gold.
Look,
off cleaving, didn't you?
It's not because of that.
Look. I will take the 70.
Tell you what, why don't you have 50 and the sigil?
Okay, sure.
You can have the sigil, and then we'll split the money equally.
Cool. Visit the Kingsman by the barracks. Sir Martin's offer does not go unignored as one or the two of you find your way out to the adjoining barracks in the palace. Out beside the coach house and stable stands a modest dormitory for the members of the Kingsman, surrounded on all sides by a walled yard. Inside the walls, you find the troop that accompanied you from Ivyville. Two of the members have found space to recline in the afternoon sun, stripped down to their tunic uniforms and sharing a bottle of sweet wine. They look up and raise the bottle in greeting, beckoning you over. A little bit of afternoon
This is not what I meant training by.
Not too far, a couple of the other members are sparring with wooden swords. A woman wrapped in a headscarf turns from practice to chat beside them. Peter! Dalton! On your feet, you lopes! She commanded.
Peter Dutton, on your feet, you loaf. She commands, and threw one of the training staffs at them. Peter, the brunette boy holding the wine, puts down the bottle to raise his hands in surrender. Sorry, boss. I know you want to impress the newbies. Dalton, unable to hold back laughter, tries back his mop of hair whilst rising to his feet. Sir Martin said you might drop by. He picks up the stuff and holds it out to you. Minna?
Minna? Yeah, that's how I'd say it.
Minna? Minna is all excited to teach you a thing or two.
We have a suggested map of the area.
Map rules. Dalton and Minna have both been given suggested positions on the map. You can place your characters in any position you want. Solid objects on the map must be moved around. Kingsman training. Rules of the contest. You cannot do any harm to your opponent that might injure them. Well, then what's the fucking point? The contest provides you with the relevant ability you can use only in this setting. Aha. You can spend ability points during your turn if you have an ability that you want to use or you can use without breaking the rules of the contest. Not really.
I think tying someone up with plants doesn't count as hurting
that would qualify, yeah, but everything else I've got actually hurts people, including stuffing poisonous herbs down their throat. Eat this! Eat this! How much training? Eat it! Breaking any of the contest rules results in an immediate forfeit in the fight and an ending of your encounter with the Kingsman. The aim of the contest is to defeat the Kingsman by filling up their strike counters. Okay.
Cool, so if you strike them 5 times.
Minadolta, and we also have 5 counters. The end of the round, each character must roll an awareness check. If your character rolls below a 4, the guard is lowered to
1d6 until the end of the next round.
The guard is lowered by 1d6 until the end of the next round. Ah, crap. That's actually alright. I've got a +2. Yeah.
I got a +1 to
We've both got a decent chance of passing that.
So there's
contest-specific abilities for your character. Strike. Roll 1d6 plus either finesse or strength against the opponent's guard. If successful, add 1 strike to their counter.
And there's the roll result.
Yeah, what they do. One of you loses after defeating the Kingsman. Final strike hits you square in the shoulder, forcing you to drop your training staff. A little sore, but otherwise unharmed. You are now out of the match. To the side of the training ground, Peter holds up a mug of wine for you to claim.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. So presumably that is our results as well.
Okay. So you roll. First of all, you roll awareness to go to determine who goes first.
Yes. 36.
I got a 7 actually.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you got +2. I got a 2. This will be Minna. Who
Minna
got
a 4 + 2, 6.
6.
So she and I
And Dalton.
at the same time, and Dalton has a 1, so 6 as well. So
Okay, I'm gonna roll them both again because they both got 6 and that doesn't work. So
Minna got a 1, which means Dalton will probably go.
Minna got 3, and Dalton got 5.
Yeah.
There you go.
D, M, and Sass. Cool. So, yeah. I'm gonna square off against Minna, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the tougher looking one. Yeah.
Cool. So we're almost back to back in the middle of the training area.
Yeah.
Minna's on one side of us.
I would say
Dalton's on the other.
I'm here, and you're there.
Cool.
Give you some idea. If you can see, Minna is at the top, Dalton is down the bottom, and then Sassa and Fras are back to back, weapons out. It's like old times, eh? Except, I suppose,
No
without
one's gonna
the
die.
wooden sticks. Yeah.
And like Sassa like spins it around a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. It's a quarterstaff for you, whereas Fras holds it very much like a... He actually would select not a sword, but an axe-shaped one. He favors the axe over the sword. Cool. So, yeah, it's either finesse or strength. Do you have anything to either?
I have +1
You
to
have +1
strength.
strength, okay. So, yeah.
Cool. You go first.
All right.
Roll to strike.
I don't think they can not... yeah, I got
Oh,
9. If I'm using strike.
Oh, so it's against the opponent's guard.
Yeah.
Minna's
Which
guard
is
is
7.
a 7. So yes, you strike her. You strike her.
Strike her very roughly. And she has a strike against her. Minna?
Do you want to dramatize the strike attack?
Yeah. The first one is just testing.
Mm.
Like, it's just... He, I think... yeah. He is very, very still and sort of gestures for her to come to him.
Mm.
And then when she takes the first step to do so, he launches in. And she is taken aback by... He was just like... No one ever won anything by being honorable.
God, you gives you a dirty look with that one. Cool. Well, I guess Dalton is next, so I guess he's gonna swing at me.
Yep. He's... Yeah. You do something similar, but you actually wait for him to come.
Oh yeah.
And he says... He was going to try saying something to Lant, but yeah. At the end of each round, characters for us... So that's the round, not the turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So once we've all gone,
Yeah.
we roll awareness again.
So
and
Dalton got a 5.
block. Add 1d6 to the Kingsman's guard until the next to the start turn. So you have to. So basically, he has taken up a defensive position,
Ah, okay.
and his guard is better when I try to strike him back.
His guard is now 10. I can't hit him.
Yeah, I can't. I literally.
You
can't.
could wrap him.
Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to resort to magic just yet.
Well, you literally can't hurt him with your stick. The best you can roll is a 7.
Yeah, I know, but it feels a bit,
Just a bit of a waste of a turn.
I mean, I could use my origin ability, find the weakness.
Yeah?
So which means I identify his
That's a good idea.
weakness, and this reduces his guard by 1d6 for 3 turns.
Okay, well, Dalton is a bit tougher currently. So he is, until the start of his next turn, his block is 10.
So his guard is 10.
Yeah.
It's now Minna's turn. So
Minna's turn.
you've just smacked her one.
Yeah.
She's gonna smack you back.
Is she? She is. She's going to strike. Roll strength against the character's guard and add the Kingsman's finesse modifier to the result. If successful, mark off 1 strike. Roll again.
So roll strength.
Yeah, no, this is finesse. Roll finesse. Character's guard, add the finesse modifier. She got a nothing.
So
She
yeah,
got
2.
2 against my 7.
Yep.
Yeah. I just sort of backed the blade away as it goes. She flickers out, and it's very quick.
She's fast.
She's fast. And I just turned the blade of the head of the axe to block it. And the axe just sort of hits me in the chest, but the flat of the axe hits me in the chest, taking the blow. And like I'm there and I just turn it side on and it just boom, and I don't even like it doesn't register at all. That she's like, damn it, that was quick. Like I barely moved at all, but I block it anyway.
Cool. It is now my turn.
It is your turn. Can I analyze his weakness?
Yes, I'm going to. Does friendly weakness burn an ability point?
I
can't
feel like it
remember. I
should.
think it does.
This is an origin,
Yes.
so this would be from the meeting point. No, it's from.
It would be from the. Because I didn't note whether it used an ability point.
I think they all do. Schema. What were you?
I'm a mage. Light
No,
mage.
it's your background.
Oh, scholar?
Scholar. 1 spirit. Find the weakness is 2.
Yeah, sure, why not?
It's 20. You've got 20 now. It's fine.
Yeah. And I have my thing of biscuits.
Yeah.
So I burn 2 ability points to find the weakness, which I do by doing a bunch of feints at him with my staff,
Oh, he's like,
forcing him to respond to see how he reacts.
Yep.
And in doing so, I notice that he's not as good at defending his left side.
You just dropped his guard by 5 for 3
Cool.
rounds. So he's back down to 5. And if you next
He'll be
turn,
0 next turn.
0. So auto hits. Yes.
Nice.
That's the end of the round. So now roll an awareness check. I passed mine. I got an 8.
Cool.
Oh, plus
4.
1, 4. Below 4. You're fine.
Okay, I'm fine. So
Back to the top of the order. Minna has taken a strike, and nobody else has.
cool. Which means it's your turn again.
I am going to do it. I'm going to strike Minna again.
Jesus, you're rolling so many 6s. It's not fair. You're taking all the 6s. Where's my 6?
It's another strike against Minna. This time, yeah, the block just she sees it, and then he uses she's holding the axe head against his chest with the blade, and he just pivots out from behind it and sort of runs the other hand, the handle into her chest instead. He's like that. There. And she's forced to take a step backwards as he just butts her in the chest with the hilt of his axe handle. Shaft.
Nice.
Haft. Yeah. And then it's Dalton's turn.
Cool.
Dalton is going to strike you. Roll strength against the character's guard. If successful, mark off 1 strike.
Okay.
Ooh, that's good.
My guard is 6.
8.
Ooh, yeah, he smacks me 1.
He strikes you for 1. However, when it's your turn, his guard is 5 minus 5.
So his guard is 0, so... But
And then it's Minna's turn.
Minna's turn.
Do you want to roll for Minna? Minna goes into block.
Yeah.
Add 1d6 to the... Do you want to roll it again? Find out how much.
She adds 3 to her guard on the next
Making
turn.
it 10. Which means I can't hit her.
Cool. It is my turn, so I'm going to try and strike him roughly.
Yay!
Hey.
That's...
I could have literally rolled anything, and I rolled a 6 that time.
Yeah. So you get him. Dalton takes a strike.
Smack him. Basically, he comes in and clips me 1, and I kind of feint right and then strike to the left, and I get him in the thigh with
Ooh.
1 end of the quarterstaff, and that forces him to stumble back.
Nice.
And I kind of do a little Wah!
Ooh. That's a 4 for my awareness, so I just passed. And you also
And
got
a
a 4.
4.
Yay!
Ooh, our awareness holds up. The guard is solid at a 6.
Minna is gonna get... I actually can't hit her. The best I can roll is a 9, so I cannot beat her guard at the moment. So I need to think of something else to do, or not do anything. 1d6 damage and half their guard for 3 turns. If I used cleave. Would you say that I can do the cleave, but only do the block, halving their I don't do the damage. I just do halving their.
If you want to burn 3 ability points.
I'll burn 3 ability points to reduce her block to half for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
So that's done 5. They're there to be used.
And we didn't use a whole lot of them last time. We're a little cautious.
I burned 9 in that fight.
Mm.
But yeah, so I am going to. I have to roll strength versus her block. Oh, I still can't. I still can't do that because I won't hit her. So yeah, Fras is not going to do anything because there's absolutely no point in doing anything.
Maybe do some sort of flourish.
Yeah, he is going to circle her. He is going to. Yeah, he is being casual and he is going to force her to move her feet. Yeah.
Get up.
Yeah. He's testing her footwork. He is acting like the superior swordsman because he is.
Cool. It is Dalton's turn.
It is.
And I just smacked him in the thigh, so he's probably feeling a bit salty.
He is going to try and precise strike you.
Strike. So he's got to roll strength against.
He's going to roll finesse against you. 2. Against
That
your
does
guard?
not beat my guard of 6.
No.
So no, I smack his
he-
staff away.
Yeah! It's a proper lunge. It's very well executed, but it is very telegraphed.
Yeah, I saw that coming a mile.
It's like a fencing lunge. And you just flick it away with the end of your quarterstaff. And he looks a bit disappointed. He was very proud of that one. He's got a good form.
Oh, and Seth's like, oh, that was good.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's like I blocked it before. It is now Minna's turn.
I love that Minna and, yeah, we're both being you're being very polite with Dalton, and Minna is like, fucking hates me.
She's going to strike you.
Yep. Nope.
That's 4. Your guard is
7.
7. Nope. She misses again.
Yeah.
Cool. Which
This one is like I just sort of sway to the side as I'm walking around. She just does a swipe and I'm not there.
It's like, I'm here. Oh, God.
And her block goes back down to 7.
Oh, this is my turn. I tried to strike at my enemy.
4,
Which means 5.
which is his guard, so yes. Think equals beats.
No, it was the opposite. Equals doesn't beat.
Ah.
So, yeah, I strike back to... Oh, no, wait. He has no guard for another 2 turns. So this one, that's the second round with
Nice.
no guard. So yeah, I smack him again.
Give him another strike. Nice. Well done. Nicely done, Sassa.
But because I'm ninth, I hit him in the shoulder this time, not in the leg.
You're just going for touches?
Yeah. I'm not like he's feeling him, but I'm not doing too much damage.
No. Well, this is it.
He might have a bit of a bruise.
He's
later.
aware that he got hit, but yeah.
Cool.
Top of the order.
So awareness check.
4, 5. I'm good. You ain't.
Oh, my guard is reduced by 1d6. Do you want to roll it for me?
It's reduced by 1d6?
Yeah.
Oof. A lot. All.
I have 1 guard now. Till the end of the next round, I only have 1 guard point.
For the end of the next round. Oh, yeah, well, that's all right.
So
Yeah,
basically,
just 1 full round.
Dalton tries to hit me this time. I only have 1 guard, and he has 0 guard.
For the last time, yeah.
Cool, you go.
I strike her. I got a 5 plus 3, 8. Beats her 7.
Yep.
Minna takes another. Yeah, this one is a sweeping one down for the legs. She almost manages to jump over it, but gets clipped in the shin.
Oof, ow.
Like full in axe blow at the legs. And she takes it. She cops it. He actually aimed at a shin guard. So there's a clang, but it's he's gauged her as being skillful enough to know that if he'd meant it, that would have really hurt.
Yeah, we're pulling our blows.
And she looks at him like, I think she actually says, "Stop playing with me."
She mad. You made her mad.
And Fras goes, no. Yeah, and Fras goes, you need to calm down. which is A, advice, and B, guaranteed to piss her off more.
Alright, Dalton is gonna do something.
Yep. Let's find out. He's going to piercing strike you, which means he's going to struggle to miss. He struggles, but does not miss.
No, he only rolled a 3, but I only have a 1.
He only rolled a 2, actually, but you only have a 1. So he does strike you, but yeah, that's rough.
I'm gonna say he gets me in the leg, like I did for him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nice.
Samesies.
I have a bruise later.
And Minna is like, yeah, she's going to go for another precise, like her eyes narrow, and she goes for another precise strike. She gets a 5, which is not enough. Plus, it's finesse, so...
Yeah.
No.
So it's good, but she still misses you.
Yep, he goes, better, but you need to focus.
Cool. Let us try and strike my 0 guard man.
1.
Yeah.
Plus 2.
Plus
1.
Plus
so
1, so 2. So
you
yeah, I
also
hit him.
He's just standing there like, you are finding all the little chinks in his armor.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hit him in the left leg again, but rather than like poke him with the tip, I'm gonna smack him on the side of the leg.
Yeah.
Which forces him to kind of shuffle to one side. Pushing him around. And that's the last round that's affected by Find the Weakness, so his guard returns to normal now.
Yep. I just passed my awareness.
I also passed my awareness.
Yay!
My guard is 6 again.
Block is better.
Yay!
Cool.
Your turn.
All right. Oh, I did not hit her.
You finally miss.
Yeah. Yeah, she gets her blade, it's quite unconventional. It's a thrust, it's a lunge, but with an axe. And she blocks it. And he goes, because all you're playing for is touches, because it's a wooden weapon. So he did something you wouldn't normally do with an axe. But he's like, you're used to fighting with swords. Well done.
Yeah, Dalton's turn again.
Dalton comes in for a swing at Sass, misses.
Yeah. I dodge nimbly.
Well, actually, sorry, that's a precise strike.
Oh, shit.
You probably still dodge nimbly, however.
It's a 4.
It is a 5. But you have a 6.
Oh,
God.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah. It's a really good one, but he still misses.
Yeah.
I use my staff to slide it up.
Oh, very swick. Very swish.
I almost do a little pirouette as well. If I'd still been wearing the dress, it would have been very elegant.
3. A strike.
Minna hits you.
Minna with her strength. That's a 6, which is not enough.
Oh.
She says, I can fight others as well. Other styles as well. Yeah! And and I just clang off the axe haft. And it's just like, no. Too obvious.
It's hard blow though, you felt it.
It was like,
Clank.
yeah.
If I can... it's only a 4.
No.
So
This is 5.
Yeah, I swing and miss.
Yeah. I'd recommend you do that thing again. It drops his AC to nothing.
Yeah, I basically go from my pirouette to strike him again, but he manages to dodge.
Yeah. Have you been tracking your AP? Because this costs an ability point to do.
Oh, cool.
So you use 6. Because I've used 4, and you've done an ability, and I had to turn off.
Yep, so I need to add 5.
I think 4.
No, I was not tracking that.
Naughty. All right.
Might have
Well,
to eat my half a bag of biscuits later.
that was a completely redundant round. Nobody hurt anybody. And I just failed my awareness.
Whoa, she might get to hit you.
She might, if she chooses to.
You're gonna roll a d6 to see how much your guard goes down. 2.
Only 2, so 5. I'm all right.
Oh, shit.
Also fails.
Damn it, my guard goes down. Why did you fucking roll it for
Sorry,
me?
you rolled it. I don't know. I had no business rolling that. I apologize.
I have no guard. We both rolled 6. That's bullshit. That's so...
That was very funny. I I'm sorry, I shouldn't have. Here, you roll the 6. There you are. Okay. Well, I'm still going to attack her. Ah. Bullshit.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah. It's going to be a very long fight if no one can hurt each other.
Stop trying to hit me and hit me!
Dalton is going to hit you. Oh, no. He's going to block.
Cool. So
his guard goes up by a certain amount.
5.
5.
Can't hit him on the next turn.
Until the start of their next turn. That's, yeah, 5.
So basically, when I
10.
try to hit him, he's going to have guard of 10.
Yeah, again. We're rolling real well for those. And
It's
then
Minna's turn.
Minna's turn. Minna is going to 3. She's going to strike me. Damn it. Which is her best ability. So let's roll real low. That was real low. She misses.
Poor woman
She
just
got 4.
can't fucking hit you.
Yeah, and she has started dodging, and he goes, yes. And he's like, he sounds like he's coaching her. He's like, yes, move those feet. And he looks like he's enjoying himself. And now it's your turn.
Cool. I really hope he decides to...
I'd suggest you do that thing again,
Yeah.
because it's nothing else.
Yeah. I am going to... Yeah, find the weakness again.
Reducing his AC,
Because he started defending his left side better.
reducing his AP by 4
So he has 1.
after this round. The next time you attack him, he will have 1.
Yeah. Cool.
Really love it if I could do that.
Yeah, and he started like compensating for the weakness identified before, so I go in to find another one.
Yeah.
And he's not very good at defending anything that comes in from overhead.
Aha.
So I'm like,
Okay.
bash him over the head a bit.
I just passed
Yay!
my awareness.
I also passed my awareness. My
Okay.
guard is back to 6.
Wow.
Yay! Love it.
I also just beat the shit out of Minna. Yeah, she starts moving, comes very close to grazing my side, and in response, she gets a bop on the head with the flat of the axe.
Whoop. You ring her bell.
Yeah, I do. I ring her bell. She has taken 4 of the 5 strikes required to knock her out. And I have burned 6 action points. Dalton is going to swing for you. Well, let's find out, actually. What's Dalton going to do? He is going to swing and miss.
Oh, yeah!
Love it if the others... that's because we've been fighting for, like...
That's the first 6
That's the
we've
first
rolled for
time
their
we've rolled
actions.
that.
All the 6s have been for other shit.
Yeah.
Cool. I've been doing all my feinting to suss out his
Minna
weak
is
spot.
going to do a precise strike against me, which is not as good for her. No, she doesn't. She misses.
She misses.
She is concussed. No, I think she's just furious.
And seeing stars.
His deliberate, his coaching is pissing her off because she's the teacher.
Oh, I'm in charge. Stop it.
Yeah. I just realized this is the wrong...
What are we listening to?
It's very chill.
Oh yeah, we need some
Battle music.
Yeah.
All right.
Next is you.
Yay!
No. A 4. That would
That's
hit him.
5, and he only has 1. So I strike him. I take advantage of this over the head, and I bring it down. And I smack him on top of his shoulder. He
Yeah.
did not appreciate it. And we have to roll awareness again.
Yes.
I
Oh.
fail.
Rough. I do not.
Let me see how much my guard's about to go down.
Oh, yeah.
I have
No,
no guard!
no guard for you. However, he also has no guard.
Yeah, neither of us have any guard. Yay! No, he has 1.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I have to. I go. She takes one final big lunge, and I catch the tip of her blade with the tip of my axe and spin her around and trip her, and she just goes flying onto the floor. As a flourish of the axe throws her blade away.
Nice. Cool. Well, you guys are done.
Yeah.
So do you want to roll what Dalton's going to do?
A 3. He is going to strike at you.
Yay, he basically can't fail.
He does not. He nails you. This is an overhead. He's copying you. He swings overhead and brings it down. And it's not so much that you don't block it, is that your block just isn't strong enough. This is
He almost pushes my own staff into my shoulder.
Yeah. My back is to you, so I do not see it, but it's your turn.
You hear a yelp.
Come on, Sass.
5.
Which beats his AC?
Yep, I strike him.
Boop, boop.
And bringing the gut. And basically, I'm gonna hit him in his leg again, and basically his knee goes out from under me.
Oh!
And I like put it at his throat. It's like, nicely done.
Whereas Minna is lying on her face, rolls over, spits out the dust, and looks up and sees Fras's hand reaching down, sort of. I wasn't trying to bait you. Well, I was, but it was easy. If you let someone goad you like that, you're gonna lose control, and then you're gonna lose everything else.
Oh.
Sass has not been injured. Fras did not take a hit.
Dick. After defeating both...
He's like, thank you, that felt good. Good workout.
The Kingsman underestimates your final blow, considering instead the one before to be your last, and they completely miss the bait and switch, which lands them with a staff on the back of their neck. Silence save for the sound of the catching of breath settles and is finally broken by Minna's even tone. That's a hit. We have our winner. The Kingsmen are awed, but not truly surprised by your victory over them in the training ring. Peter hands out water and nods in approval. Nice to know that what we saw back in Ivyfell was no fluke. You've earned those rumours they're saying about the pair of you. And so it just kind of spins the thing about one hand. Oh, it's worth getting a bit sweaty for.
The bath will also be worth getting a bit sweaty for.
Oh, it will. It's a good bath. Maybe if you come by again, you can teach Peter a thing or two. He can't avoid every training session. Dalton snorts a short burst of laughter as Peter narrows his eyes in return. You are welcome to join us any time. Minna smiles, still catching her breath. She doesn't really mean it. We may serve the king, but we are all joined to protect the people, and so we will do whatever we can to help you, wherever the king has need of you most. And she kind of she almost hesitates, and then is like, oh, fine. And she holds out a carved crystal token, the symbol of the Kingsman marked in detailed relief. Just call on us when the time comes. So we both receive a Kingsman token 2.
Ooh. Everybody gives you presents for beating them up. It's great.
This metal token reminds you of your victory in the bout of training with the Kingsman. Once per session, one player may use their turn to activate this token to allow both players to use 2 abilities during their next turn.
Kingsman token.
Boom. You may return to your apartments before meeting the king for dinner. Return to page 33. So we are back to page 33.
No.
Here we go. Returning to your apartments. Weary from your day and travel, you return back to the rooms that you have been given. A couple of palace maids stand by to assist with fetching any food, drink, or items you might need, but for the most part, they leave the boat view to yourselves. The remainder of the afternoon stretches out before you, and you are free to spend it here, however you please. How do your characters spend the afternoon together, or separately? Feel free to use this moment for any roleplay between your characters. You might have a lot to share and discuss, so you might want to spend time with one another away from the prying eyes of the rest of the palace and kings.
I thought I might go to the market.
Technically not an option.
I thought you were allowed to do as many things in the afternoon as you wanted.
Yeah, as long as you are told you're allowed to. So, because...
Beating the crap out of a bunch of guardsmen didn't take 4 hours.
Look, we are allowed to be, technically we're in charge. So if we want to go to the markets, I think we can go to the markets.
Why don't we go before we get dressed? Before we get dressed for dinner as well. Come back. Let's get properly.
Yeah. We're already a bit sweaty.
Because as we're leaving the training area, we're having this conversation quite loudly, and I was like, yeah, because I'm barely sweaty.
Lucky you.
Like he says deliberately loudly. So I know about you. I'm barely sweaty as we leave, and Minna goes,
Okay, visiting the city markets. The bustling central markets of the Crystal Capital are filled with all manner of scents and sounds. You both weave your way through the crowds, past a cloud of steam erupting from the entrance to a tea shop, and almost bumping into a small stand filled with cages of strange animals.
Ooh.
Somewhere over the sounds of the crowd and vendors, a lilting tune of a street musician can be heard. As the afternoon sun bounces off the towering crystals of the city, you are both left with chance to wander and explore. What are your priorities when it comes to shopping here? Beyond the stores listed on the map, is there anything else you can imagine your characters getting up to as they explore? Don't feel limited to the options given to you. Feel free to build any tea rooms, food stalls, and shops of your own to visit as you spend a lazy afternoon enjoying the sights around you. Okay. So our options are, so we've got a little map of the markets there. So Willard's Weaponry, Barker's Bakers, The Bard, Broths and Brews Apothecary, The Reflective Shard, and A Stitch Saves 9.
Heh.
Where do you want to go?
I mean, all of them sound great. Broths and Brews Apothecary.
I mean, we can roll a d6 to arbitrarily decide.
There are 6. Let's do that. 3.
1, 2, 3.
The Bard.
We're going to go visit the Bard. The Bard! In the middle of a market square stands a covered-up well, raised from street level up several steps and covered by a canopy adorned with delicate ivy and flowers. It makes for a beautiful centerpiece. So it is not so surprising that a musician has taken up this place as a stage to perform on. Seated on the well with a lyre at their side, the musician's voice has a magical pull to it, drawing in their watchers with unwavering attention. Do you find yourself among them? Yes.
Oh, for at least a little while. Yeah.
As the song draws to a close, their eyes pan the crowd. A few watchers break free to offer their coin to the small feathered hat below, which is filling up quite nicely with the day's takings. My, could we be in the company of heroes? The musician's expression lights up when they spot the pair of you. The heroes of Ivyfell themselves, no less. Now there is a tale to be told. Not many songs have been written in your name just yet, but I wager I can conjure up one now as long as I find the right words. Pick a result from the prompts or roll to create a random result. Feeling creative, write your own answers. Where ivy once fell in the warmth of the dell, 2 heroes came wandering for... And we got 6 options there. 4, okay. I'm feeling frisky, so I'll do... Where ivy once fell in the warmth of the dell, 2 heroes came wandering for adventure. But there they found the town in a merry mood. 1 hero was ready to pick a fight. And roll again. Through the light of the dawn, with barely time for a yawn, 5. There came a darkness more terrible than ever. Our heroes leapt into the fight, their blows precise and full of might. Their victory brought safety to everyone. The Bard smiles and performs a rendition of the Heroes of Ivyfell. And I swear I can actually sing nicely, but, you know, it's more fun if I do a shit job right now. Yes.
It's not how I remember it, but yes, thank you. That was...
Thank you, that was lovely!
I was looking for a bear wrangling contest, but that didn't rhyme so well.
Don't do it again. Let's go. Alright, and we can pick somewhere else to go. So do you want to roll another d6? And if...
I tip the guy.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, kind sir. Cool. Do you want to roll another d6 to see where else we go? And if it's a 3, we'll re-roll it.
It was.
Yeah.
Can somebody in chat roll a d5?
Anywhere but the Bard. Because now that we've established that the Bard is going to sing about us, we're like, ah!
Can't go places in this place without...
I thought we were doing a good job of being discreet.
1.
Okay, we're going to Willard's Weaponry.
Yay! That's kind of where I wanted to go.
Let's go look at...
Let's. How about that place? That looks great.
Oh, yes, let's go look at dangerous things. Okay.
Sure.
The open-fronted shop is lined from ceiling to floor with all manner of weapons and tools to help the wayward traveler or hunter. From custom-engraved wood axes to sturdy and functional short swords, it feels like you can't look anywhere in the shop and see the same thing twice. You are interrupted from your browsing by a stern-looking older woman who clears her throat loudly. I don't deal with loiterers or time-wasters. What can I help you with?
Greetings, fair lady. I am actually just browsing. I'm quite good for weaponry, but I was just curious to see what the capital had to offer.
Well, these are my kind of 3 specials at the moment. And this is the woodcutter's axe, 5 gold. It's a lightweight axe. You can throw at a creature up to 3 move spaces away from you.
It's a very meta description. How interesting.
+1 to your attack roll with a strike or stab move. This item breaks after 1 successful use. So you pay
That's the
5
shittest
gold,
axe.
and you only get to hit it 1 time.
That's rubbish.
A really sharp knife, 15 gold. It looks like it could cut you without even touching it. +2 to any damage rolls while you are using this weapon.
Hell yeah.
An oversized hammer for 20 gold. What is harder to lift comes down just as hard. Spend an additional 1 AP to any of your attack moves to add 1d6 damage to a successful hit.
Ooh. That's pretty good.
You can afford it.
I might have the really sharp knife, to be honest. Would you like a really sharp knife?
You know, I would like a really sharp knife. Always handy.
So here's the thing. I don't understand how you can use it. All of your attacks are magical.
Well, that's a point.
Maybe we go to the apothecary for something for you.
Let me check. Okay, well then I won't buy anything. You can buy a really sharp knife. And
I'd like... You could reflavor it.
No, it's fine. No, it makes sense. There's other shops. No, don't blow my load too soon.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you give her the money.
Would you like a big hammer?
No.
I might have a little dagger though. That's quite a nice, handsome thing.
Oh, I'm gonna say she wraps it up in like a bit of.
Oh, there's no need. A scabbard though.
Oh yeah, she'll give you a scabbard.
In fact, I'll pay extra for a very fancy scabbard.
I'm gonna say she like goes behind like the table and gets out like a tray and it's got like a variety of scabbards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say one has like some little gemstones worked into it.
Yeah.
Another one has been like almost braided out of strips of leather. And the third one is it has some braided detail with the leather. But it also has some silver wire running through the braid as well.
Yeah. Love it. This is... He intends to make a modification. In fact, he says, I'll give you an extra 4 pieces of gold. I'll be back if you can do the modification I require in about an hour. That would be great. I'll have it in the scabbard. So the 4 gold will be for that jewel-encrusted scabbard. And I want a hook point. Like somewhere you can attach a cleat on the base so you can have like a strap or something around it. And she goes, like, for someone who was immediately quite dismissive of us when we first came in, she goes,
Oh, you know your shit.
okay, right,
yeah.
Because what I want to do is attach this to the other end of my rope dart weapon.
Nice.
But I also want it to still be usable as a knife, because that's why I'm buying the fancy scabbard. But I can clip it onto my chain dart.
Cool.
All right, let's go and find something for you.
Well, right next to the weaponry shop is the baker's, or if we go past that, we get to Bross and Brew's apothecary.
I reckon the apothecary.
Yeah, let us go to the apothecary. Inside the dark bottle green glass front of the apothecary's shop sits a row of large black cauldrons, each bubbling and frothing with the heat of its own tiny stove beneath. On the other side of the room stands shelves filled with empty bottles, a small sign instructing you to pick a shape or size that suits you best before approaching the cauldrons to fill.
Yeah.
At the end of the room, a young woman with potion-stained hair sits cross-legged on a stool, sipping from a large mug. Hi there! You'll call if you need help, yes? She asked brightly.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anything special you've got on today?
Oh, you can see the 3 specials on the board over there.
Ah, thank you.
The specials say, wake up
Can't
call.
read. What does it say?
5 gold. When you drop to 0 ability points, you may use your turn to drink this potion to gain back 1d6 ability points.
Ooh.
Fire bottom foam for 10 gold. Using your turn to drink this potion, you may roll spirit against the opponent's guard. If you are successful, roll 2d6 damage as you spit fire at your opponent.
My spirit shit, but yours is very good.
Yeah, my spirit is like insanely good. Elixir of Vitality for 15 gold. Use your turn to drink this potion and gain back either 2d6 hit points or 2d6 ability points. And that is 15 gold.
I might pick up an elixir of vitality. Would you like the fire breath thing?
Do you think I could pull off fire breath?
I think you could absolutely pull off fire breath. I'm actually a little disappointed you can't already do it.
Now you say that, so am I. Cool. So you buy the fire bottom foam. I buy the fire bottom foam for 10 gold, so I have 42 gold now. And you purchase yourself elixir of vitality. You are down 34.
Yeah. 34?
Yes, because you paid 15 for the really sharp knife.
Oh, I've already made a note of this.
Okay. So 15 for the elixir of vitality.
Yeah, I'm also down 1 because I tipped the guy who sang the song about us. Was the other one was 5?
Really sharp knife is 15.
No. Wake up call. That.
5 gold.
I'll get one of each. I'll get a wake up call and an elixir of vitality.
Cool. 20 gold, please.
Thank you very kindly. And I go a big square, like an odd square-shaped one for the elixir of vitality, and a little, like, test tube one for the wake-up call.
Cool. And I will choose... I'm going to say it's a... It's shaped like almost like a miniature beer bottle,
Nice.
and in kind of a nice orangey brown glass, and I fill that up with the fire bottom.
Is it an action? Use your turn to drink this potion.
And then roll spirit.
2d6. No, sorry, the elixir of vitality.
Use your turn to drink this potion. Yeah.
Turn.
Thank you both very much. Have a lovely day.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Either 2d6 HP or 2d6 AP. And then as we're walking out the door, I say, "Yeah, bought you a present," and I give you the wake up call.
Aww. Thanks, Fras.
Well, I've got one that'll get me back on my feet if I need it. So,
Fair enough. And I'll tuck it away. Pocket. Well, it hasn't been an hour yet for your chief. Should we
oh right.
go
Yeah.
into the Stitch Saves 9? I'm assuming it's clothing.
So Firebottom Brew. And a wake up call. You haven't been making notes of any of these things. You also have a royal cloak.
Yep.
And a
carrying
Kingsman token.
Yeah, I've got the Kingsman token too, and I'm carrying the Royal Crest.
2. And the royal crest. And a bag of biscuits.
So
there were 3. Hang on. May I? Because there were 3 pieces of loot from fighting the guards.
I think loot is an ability that we don't have because
right, okay.
rogues.
Right. Very well.
Because
It's
you
like- You can steal their shit.
You can loot in each of these shops as well, but neither of us have that ability.
I see.
So if you're a rogue, you can totally go on a thieving spree right about now.
But we're heroes of Ivyfell.
Yes,
We would never do that.
We're good people. The first thing that overwhelms you inside the modest shop front is the rainbow of silks hanging over the beams of the ceiling. This tiny little clothing store has been filled to near bursting with fabric. Little pigeonhole shelves bear labels to the goods that have been neatly wrapped and packaged inside. An elegantly dressed man appears from the tightly wound spiral staircase in the corner. Tailor's tape draped over his shoulders. He asks, "Have you got your eye on something there? I'm sure we can find some better fitting boots than those you have on you there." Sorry.
These were provided to me by the king, sir.
Oh, no offense to the king, but
Well, I think it was probably more provided by his chamberlain. But
Swift boots for 15 gold. Lightweight and comfortable to wear. When equipped, these shoes add a 1 to your movement roll. Rebuff armor, 10 gold. While this armor is equipped, when an opponent fails to beat your guard in an attack, they are knocked back 1 space. Shirt of the Silken Tongue, 15 gold. Minus
Mina
1...
would have been halfway across the fucking courtyard.
You just yeet her over the
Bing,
fence.
bing, bing, bing. I was like, I am basically invulnerable. Yep.
Shirt of the Silken Tongue, 15 gold. Minus 1 guard. While the shirt is equipped, you gain +2 to diplomacy rolls.
Ooh. Minus 1 guard, but you have to put it on. That would be very useful for, like, this evening.
Do you want to buy a fancy shirt?
I don't want to buy a fancy shirt, but it sounds like a good idea. I could buy a fancy coat. 95 gold.
What
I wouldn't.
colour shirt?
The flavour of it is that the king's colour is purple, is it?
Yes.
All right, so not purple.
No.
I reckon a blue, or no, what's green?
Oh, what shade of green would
Like a
those
leafy
shirts?
green.
And he like drapes like 3 different green silks and was like, we can't do any of these shirts. We can drape.
Mutation green,
Mm.
sort of that.
Is this sort of a middle vibrant green for you, sir?
Yes, I think yeah, something that'll go well with. And I pull out the red tunic with the barrels on it. The tunic will go over it, so the sleeves come out. So I want green sleeves with the red. Complementary colours. I know the colour wheel. I understand. Fun story. Speaking of the colour wheel, did you know brown doesn't exist?
Yeah. It's just dark orange.
It's just dark orange.
It's really
I only learned that. Like, I knew that, but I didn't know it. Like, as soon as I was like, oh yeah, fuck. I don't have brown hair. We're all gingers!
Cool. Let me see if I have one in a suitable size for you. He like rummages in a chest of shirts.
He has to go quite deep. I'm very big.
Yeah, exactly. Bottles prepared too small, much too small, wrong green. Here, sir. Would this be suitable for you? And he holds one up with the correct shade of green.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks great. So yeah, I went in with a white shirt. I come out with a green shirt.
I might get some Swift boots, you know.
Not a bad idea.
They're very nice.
Because I'm going to be wanting to wear the tunic with it, so I can get the +1 from the tunic as well. Meta. Like, I wouldn't wear this shirt in a fight. For obvious reasons. It's very fancy.
I would not recommend, sir. No.
No.
There's
It literally makes me worse at it.
Is lighter than a lady's kiss.
I don't know, I've been kissed very lightly by some ladies. So lightly, in fact, a few of them refused to admit they'd even done it.
He's not talking about. I'm very aggressive.
That's true, she is very aggressive.
It wasn't there.
Yeah, also, I've never really been kissed by you.
Yeah. It was more of a mouth-based punch than a kiss.
You're welcome to mouth-based punch me anytime you like, by the way.
Ah, I was such a good friend. I'd like to try on some boots, please.
But of course, ma'am.
And I find some...
Would you like something with the eel or something more practical?
just like a small, like a
Cuban?
No, a little more delicate, like a 1 inch. So if I'm doing, I don't know why I've suddenly become a Cockney. So if I'm,
You've gone Kesh.
I've got onto Kesh. Accent bingo. So suitable for riding. So a little more delicate then.
But of course.
And I find these
How high?
Inch and a half.
I meant the boot.
Oh, to the knee.
and I pick out a nice kind of light warm brown boot. Comes up to my knee.
Dark orange boot. Yeah.
Yeah, dark orange boot.
If you phrase it like that, it sounds really freaking weird, doesn't
so
it?
wrong.
Really dark
And
orange.
I
That's brown. No, it's dark orange. Look at the color wheel. It's the color of a tree. Yeah, that's brown. No, dark orange. What's dark orange? It's sticky. A stick. Speedy boots.
Movement. And I kind of pose in the voice. What do you think?
Your calves have never looked better.
Aw, that's very sweet.
Called the shirt of the silken tongue.
And I kind of... Do you have a cloth I could wrap my old shoes in? Chance. And start breaking them in. Like a bit of cosmetic.
Bit of cuts.
Bit of
-1 guard. +2 diplomacy.
I have 17 gold.
I love that I become significantly more charismatic whilst wearing this shirt.
Yeah. Do you put it on?
I'm wearing it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, when you're wearing this shirt, I just have this urge to do whatever you want.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
You could even punch me in the mouth again if you like.
I punch you in the mouth. Gently.
Not that charismatic then.
You told me to!
You are very aggressive.
Good day to sir and madam. Thank you for visiting A Stitch Saves 9.
Thank you.
Come again.
What's the reflective shard?
I don't know what the reflective shard is. Shall we find out? We've
Yeah.
probably got enough time before you have to go back and
We'll
get
just
your
stick our noses in quickly.
Cool. The reflective shard. You come across a shopfront that is absolutely covered in crystal shards. Whether they have grown there naturally or been gathered there and hid together through some force isn't clear. But beside the palace and the cathedral, there are no other shops covered in this many. Through the doors, you can make out a collection of odd items behind glass cabinets and an elderly man wearing a monocle overlooking a ring at a desk.
We should have gone in here
In the
first.
back. Do you go in to take a look?
I'm going to be shouting your presence all day. Yep, alright.
Yeah, I can't afford anything in here. This place is expensive. So... Snake Eye Dice, 20 gold. A pair of dice where every side is a 1. Use this item once per session to make an opponent roll a 1 on all of the dice they rolled at turn. Coin of Fate, also 20 gold. Heads or tails. Instead of rolling once per session, you can flip a coin to get either a 1 or 6 on your ability roll.
Nah, don't like that. Nah.
Crystal Shard Mirror, 30 gold. Carved from crystal, this item casts a perfect reflection of the world around it. Once per session, you may use this item to deflect an attack's effect back at your opponent.
Do you want any of them? I like the snake eye dice.
I think if you're going to get anything, the dice. They
Yeah.
sound cool. Not wild about the Coin of Fate or like...
No, because a 5 or a 3 are way better than a 1. I'll take a 3 and a 5, or even a 3 and a 4. Not Josh is saying. Yeah, normally in combat, a 3 plus 3 is more than enough to beat a guard, which would be when I would be using this, unless it's a diplomacy sort of thing, and you're rolling an opposed check. But that's what the snake eye dice are for. If you really want to do something, you just sort of flick the dice in your pocket and you persuade somebody that one time. I would definitely do the snake eye dice. And that's good for either of us as well. Like, if you're doing something and I want you to succeed, I can just force them to fail. Snake eye dice.
Cool. The elderly man like moves so slowly, but his hands are really steady, like as a rock.
Yes,
Snake eye
once
dice.
per session, Make an opponent roll 1.
On all the dice.
On all the dice.
They roll that. Cool. So the only place we haven't been is the bakery. Do you want to go to the bakery? Or do you wanna just...
I think I need to go and get my knife, but if you want to go into the bakery quickly.
Well, you go get your knife and I'll
meet you at the bakery.
I'll go to the bakery. The warm orange glow of a welcoming...
You're going into the bakery. The warm orange... Not... The warm pale brown glow of the... of the welcoming bakery is visible from the street as you pass. A small bell is not the only thing at the door to signal your arrival. Inside, a dog begins barking and jumping up to get your attention, eager to lick your hand. Biscuits! Biscuits, will you get down before you startle the customer? A bearded man calls from behind the display of cakes and pastries. The dog, presumably Biscuits, responds with a bark and bounds away to find their owner. Sorry about that. They're usually on their best behavior to get a treat.
That's alright. Hi, Biscuits. Nice to meet you.
The dog is so happy to
I'm like scratching behind his ears. He like rolls over into his belly. Oh, your good biscuits. Oh, your good biscuits. Hello, Eldorian Tales.
Oh, hey, man.
I'm in a bakery.
Yeah. We are playing, we're not playing D&D this evening. We are playing Roll Table for Two, which is a 2-player DMless role-player game. It's good fun. It is by our friends at Fights and Fancy, and we were sent it by them, and we are having some great times with it. So, Faf, if I type Faf, you can see that.
We are currently guests at the King's Palace, but we've been given the afternoon, so we went and beat up some guards.
It's a shopping episode.
And now we're doing a shopping episode.
I'm in the bakery.
This is the book. They basically each chapter is its own little booklet. Each session is, I would say, each of these booklets is about 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, because we're not going to get through the whole book tonight.
No, I was going to call it after we go back to the because we are almost exactly halfway through the book.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a good time to have a stop. But yeah. So the baker is a very jolly man, quite slender, but that's which is only slightly like I never trust a thin chef, you know, but he is covered in flour. He looks at first you take him for like mid-50s, but actually he's quite a bit younger. It's just flour in his beard and hair. Like makes him look grey before his time. It is cool artwork as well, and the art is all done by one of the people who wrote it as well. It's a little two-hander, but it's all like little, really nice artwork on the inside as well. It's black and white, and most of the things that are decided upon are decided by a roll of a d6. So it's it's a cross between a choose-your-own-adventure story and D&D.
Yeah.
You've got a character sheet. It's a little simplified from what you would expect. It's nowhere near 5e complexity, but I don't mind rules light. So if you're into rules light systems, this is all based on action points, which is reasonably common, but not in. It's it used to be very common. It's more of a video game thing nowadays as AP, but it's still really cool. You've still got hit points, and your 5 stats are diplomacy, strength, finesse, awareness, and spirit. And I have nothing for diplomacy, finesse, or spirit. I'm just a flat even. So you're considered to be, a 10 across the board. And then I have a +3 in strength and a +2 in awareness. And Keren has a +1 in strength, +1 in awareness, and a +4 in spirit.
+5 if I'm wearing my medallion.
Yep.
Which I currently am.
And I have quite a high guard, which is the AC. It's brilliant. Yeah, it is a nice little system. There are 3 classes, each with 3 subclasses. So you can either be a fighter, a mage, or a rogue. And then if the fighters, you get brawler, knight, or archer. And then the wizards were light, dark, and chaos. Yeah. Which is, I would say, another flavor of dark. But, and then there was, sneaky rogues, there are assassiny rogues, and then there was a third kind.
Trickster, I think?
Tricksy rogues. Spiritual being. Yeah. And we are playing, if you've seen Castlevania on Netflix, we're playing Trevor Belmont and Cypher. but we've rebranded them.
We worked them over a little bit.
Sassa and Fras. So I'm Fras, with my background is Gardener, because Gardener's got a dope ability called Deadly Nightshade, which basically stuff poison plants down their opponent's throats and give them damage for the next 3 rounds, which is very fun. But I don't have any abilities that don't do damage or heal me. If I had a single thing I would like to have in it, would be the ability to just hit somebody, just a basic smack 'em ability. 1 AP, you just hit somebody a bit.
Honestly,
that everybody gets.
if you wanted to do it, like you could totally just make it up that you have to roll using your strength to punch someone.
It has no special abilities
And
at
it just
all.
goes against
I
their
just do
guard.
1d6 if you beat their guard.
Yeah, you can punch him, and then roll how much
Because in that training fight, for example,
strike.
they give you an attack. They give you the ability strike. Roll 1d6 against plus either finesse or strength against the opponent's guard. If successful, they take a hit. But yeah, I have 35 hit points, and in we've had 2 fights so far. The first time was against a bear possessed by the Grimed, which are the evil things in this setting.
Shadow creatures.
Yeah, it was about 5 rounds long, the combat, and in the final round, I did more damage with a single hit than the bear had hit points to begin with.
Yeah, you just kind of.
I just nailed it. The bear failed its block roll, and I just destroyed it with a single blow. I did 35 damage. It only had 30 hit points at the time, and I only had 20.
And I kept missing.
And
so
yeah,
I didn't really.
Fras is very well built for one thing. Sass is also very well built for one thing, but wasn't rolling well.
I'm really good at drinking competitions.
Yes, really good at drinking competitions. So yeah, Sassa is currently in a toxic jock. Hey, buddy, I couldn't bear it. So
he couldn't bear that amount of poison being shoved down his throat.
So the baker, there goes the baker with his tray like always. He's there with his flowery hair and beard.
His cute dog.
And his cute dog, Biscuits.
I'm going to say Biscuits is an overweight corgi.
Yes. Biscuits is a corgi. Saying overweight is unnecessary. Yeah. So there is some. He gets you out a tray and says like, "Oh, would you like to peruse,
Yes,
madame?
Thank you.
A fancy lady like yourself. Perhaps we have some quite. We've got a few different options. There are biscuits.
Oh.
They look kind of like dog biscuits, but taste just delicious. You gain +1 in any ability for 1d6 rolls. That's pretty dope. That's 5 gold pieces. For a different 5 gold pieces, you could have warm and fluffy bread. This bread reminds you of home. When you use your turn to eat this bread, you can remove all ongoing effects or damage. It's basically your resistance ability.
I kind of already have.
Can already do that, but you can spend 5 gold to be able to do it without burning an AP. Or 15 golds gets you a shepherd's pasty. A hearty meal in the palm of your hand. Use your turn to eat this and gain back 3d6 HP. That's pretty good.
Basically all my money, though.
I wouldn't bother with any of them, really. Biscuits is pretty good.
Yeah, I'll buy a bag of biscuits.
Very well. You buy a bag of biscuits,
So I now have a bag of half-eaten biscuits and a bag of biscuits.
and a whole bag of biscuits. You have a half-eaten bag of biscuits and a full bag of biscuits. A +1 to any ability for 1d6. For 1d6 rolls.
Cool.
Very nice. That could be handy if you're making diplomacy checks, actually. Like, ongoingly. You come back out smelling of fresh baked goods.
There's some corgi fur on
And a bit of corgi fur, and smells like wet dog in there.
Very cute dog.
No one needs to go into the... Well, we've gone everything, haven't we?
Yeah, we've gone everywhere now.
Well, I saw a really nice tea shop up the way. Would you like to have a...
Tea sounds great.
And it looked rather like scones were in the offing as well.
Yes.
Tea rooms,
Tea,
hell yeah.
scones, back to the palace, bath,
Yes.
stressful feast with important people.
Stressful feast with important people, yeah. So, yeah, we go and sit in the tea rooms and have scones with jam and cream. Go the whole 9 yards.
Oh my goodness. We need to
Like in Dunster.
Yeah, sorry. Story time. When Josh and I were in England, we went to the medieval town of Dunster a couple of times, and there's a tea house in Dunster where they do like scones, the service scones basically, but you can have savoury or sweet. So if you get savoury scones, you get a little kind of chutney and cream cheese, and if you do sweet, you obviously get clotted cream and jam. So what we did the couple of times we were there, because honestly it was so freaking good.
Yeah.
We would go and because you got 2 scones and a serve, so you'd get a savoury and a sweet, and then we'd have one with the cheese
Each.
and chutney, and then one with the cream and jam, and oh my goodness, best lunch ever.
Yeah. Also in a really nice surroundings.
And it's
as well.
so pretty there. If you get a chance to go to Dunster, go to Dunster. It's gorgeous. There's a
Down
castle.
in
lovely.
Somerset, in southwest England, which is where I'm from, and we were staying in a village nearby, because that was when we were down at the granary.
Yeah.
And with the whole family went to Dunster for the day, but we left them.
We needed some time away.
We needed
from
some
your
time
family.
away from them.
In the
and
nicest possible way.
yeah, it's on a hilltop. It is a dead set old medieval town. It's on a hilltop. It used to have a wall all the way around it. It used to be a walled city, walled town for defense.
Little rundown now.
But the castle itself is still quite nice. It's run by the National Trust, so it's
you can't always go in though.
yeah,
It's not always
and
open.
it's not nearly as big as you'd sort of hope.
It looks
They're like, it's like £5 to go in, and
It's
it's only
smaller
like
on the
8 rooms or
inside.
something. It's like it's like
a
a
reverse-
big house.
reverse TARDIS.
It's a decent sized house, not even by Australian standards, not even a particularly large house. In terms of numbers of rooms, mind you, I imagine the entire thing wasn't open.
But yeah. If we go back to England, we're gonna have to go to Dunster because I need to have those scones.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Well, it's not if, it's a when, I imagine.
I do like Toxic Choc. To be fair, there's at least one brand of dog treat chocolate chip cookies that taste great. I was young and scoofy and I regret nothing. They were delicious. Well, here's the thing: like, who tests dog food? People.
Yeah, there's somebody whose job it is. Like I remember
To
reading
taste
about.
test dog food. Speaking of, hello doggy. You've come out. Gone straight into her bed. Hasn't even come over to say hello. Just ignoring us.
On our way back up through the palace, we get a little bit lost.
Okay.
Can you roll an awareness check?
Ugh.
Like, we get back and we're trying to be like low key.
Yeah.
Don't eat the liver treats.
Ugh. That is a 5 for me.
5 and then a 7 for me. So 5 for you. Your footsteps tap quietly on the tiled floor, but you approach the door with caution. Hang on, alright. So the palace stretches out before you, both like a maze. Endless corridors leading to massive halls, each decorated for an individual purpose. One set of doors opens into a room lined with instruments. Another holds an enormous dining table. You even find a room whose sole design is to offer a place to recline on comfortable chairs and watch the sunlight cast iridescent patterns across the crystals. We may spend a little bit of time in that room, I imagine. No one interrupts your adventure. The staff that pass you...
Raz, do you remember that time we ate those mushrooms at that fair and lay on the grass all night talking about how the stars were changing colours? Do you remember that?
I do.
We should eat them in here.
I didn't eat any of the mushrooms.
It was just me.
Yeah.
You weren't high?
No. I was drunk.
Oh, okay. I thought you were high. You went along with it.
I did. I really enjoy spending time with you. It was fun.
Ah, and she kind of bumps you with her shoulder.
But yeah, I thought it might be a good idea if at least one of us was like, well, I was drunk.
You were drunk, I was high, the stars were doing weird shit. It was a great night.
The staff that pass you seem far too busy with their tasks to keep their heads bowed in your presence. Without supervision, is there anything the two of you would like to do in this space? What kind of rooms do your characters find and interact with? I love the idea. We get high! Sit in the kaleidoscope room.
You won't get high!
You know I got a light off!
Apologies for the obscure reference to a very good stand-up set.
What's his name?
Machine, Brett Kreischer.
Bert Kreischer, yeah.
You won't get high?
You won't get hey white boy. Your afternoon of wandering idles on as you meander through rooms and corridors. The further you explore the palace, the quieter and quieter it becomes. Soon you find yourselves realizing that you haven't seen another person in at least 30 minutes, let alone heard a sound beyond the two of you. It's odd, isn't it? I've been trying to find our way back to our room.
Yeah. We are not succeeding.
No. The candles and torches in the corridor you stand in now seem to have long burnt out. You have reached a corner of the palace that appears neglected by the day-to-day bustle. The corridor takes a turn from the sunlight leaking through the windows, and as it grows darker ahead, you have finally found the end of the maze. At the end of the dark corridor is a set of doors. One lies ajar. You make your approach, abruptly aware that you can hear the noise of another person ahead. Your footsteps tap quietly on the tiled floor. But you approach the door with caution, enough not to give yourself away. Slowly opening the door to the room, you can see a figure in purple robes commanding a small mote of light to float just inches from his fingers and overlooking a tapestry. The door creaks, breaking the silence, and the figure dispels the light, disappearing from the room before your eyes adjust to the darkness. Now that you are alone, you approach the tapestry to see what the figure was investigating. In the darkness, it is difficult to make out the details, but you can follow the threads along a tapestry that tells the story of a great hero of the kingdom who brought peace and forged the very first Star Soul blade. The tapestry ends at an outpost tower where the blade is kept in the crystal casket of the great hero.
Oh.
Interesting. Weary from our day of travel, we finally do manage to make our way back. I think we flagged down somebody. So, sorry. I know you're very busy. I am exceptionally lost. I'm trying to get back to our apartments. Thank you. Up. Yeah.
Martin! Oh my god!
Martin, we've been so lost. Quickly, bath. There you go. Yeah, I think that's all of our time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a quicker bath than the first time around.
Yeah.
And get back into our night clothes. I'm back in my slinky blue dress.
Right. The 8th bell tolls in the palace hallway as you make your approach to the dining hall doors. At the king's request, Sir Martin has returned to guide you to the hall and make sure you arrive promptly. Do you wait for a properly announced entrance, or do you make your own? How do you think the people in the room react to your appearance in this manner? Here to grumble. Well, Dak, you can grumble away. Sorry to hear it.
It's one of those memes that pops up all the time for D&D, like when, when people bail on the session, you have to cancel and, it's just the person sitting there looking sad.
Surrounded by snacks.
Yeah, just a table of snack food and nobody to eat it. I haven't done a lot of session zeros, actually. I keep getting chucked in the deep end.
Pissed off. Completely pissed off. Dak, that's completely fair and reasonable. If you're the DM, then all the organization work is up to you. I think that's fucking bullshit as well. I don't think the DM, I do all the producing work because I'm the channel runner, but, if it's just around the table, then I don't see why the DM should also have to do the heavy lifting on that. Because they already have to do so much other work outside of the session. And as a DM, I would say I have as much fun as my players do, but there's a lot more work involved already. So, yeah, if you already also had to do the organizing, everybody bailing on you is fucking irritating.
And, also if you've been looking forward to it. Because I know that, a lot of the reason I play D&D is because, I was doing it before the pandemic. But I got into it a lot more during the pandemic because a lot of things in my life from which I derived pleasure were no longer accessible to me.
Yeah.
So D&D kind of became one of the fun things I got to do. And it could be a real lift if I was having a shitty week. I'm like, hey, I get to go play D&D now.
The first Humblewood campaign I ran for a group of absolute locusts, but they have...
I might watch this,
They don't. I think one does, actually, but in fairness, he wasn't one of them.
He wasn't the problem.
No. And he was actually very upset with the way it ended, as was I. But
Herbomobos, as we say.
yeah. Well, we call them locusts.
Oh! Sorry, I'd forgotten that locust was the... Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of absolute murder hobos or locusts, yeah. And he was displeased. But yeah, they all told me they've all told me at various points that it was a real bright point of their week during lockdowns. That getting together and hanging out on Zoom. In fact, no, we played over Discord, I think. And yeah. I enjoyed it enough that I wanted to play it on live. So when Nova said, "Hey, if you want to run a game, you're welcome to," and I said, "Actually, I backed the Humblewood, and I'm keen to do it," and he was like, "Oh hell yeah, that." And here we are.
That is how the Humblewood started.
Here we are, 3 years
so
later.
Really, those locusts did you a favour?
Oh, they continue to do me favors. I love those guys.
Just don't play D&D with me
Yeah,
anymore.
I've offered to restart, but they've never gotten back to me on it.
Boring. Anyway, how do we enter the hallway? Or do we want to...
Well, there's only actually, like...
A little bit left? 10
more pages.
Well, then shall we push through?
Yeah, let's push through.
Yeah. Let's put a bow on it.
Yeah. I think... I don't want to speak for you, but I think you would go to... I was like, well, I'm not waiting. And you would go to... I was like, no, wait. Let's not have it be Ponzi in the red robe has another go at us for not obeying custom. This is the decorum. This is their space.
Shut our names out of us.
That's the point. So roll with it.
Okay.
Enjoy it.
Okay. And she kind of does the thing, she like brushes down her skirts and checks that the tits are...
You look fine.
And we give our names to the crier.
Oh, the crier knows our names.
Oh, yeah.
Fras, Perella, and Lady Sassa. And we enter, and everything stops.
The violin just...
I don't think that, but yeah, the music continues, but everybody stops and looks.
Sassa started doing her glide walk again in her fluttery silk dress.
Yeah. Inside the dining hall, you see a long table with places set aside for you nearest to King Elgar. Lord Verney.
I think I said it, Verney.
Verney is attending to this evening, though it appears he has been moved further down the table to his usual seat, if the scowl on his face is anything to go by.
He can't take another load of our sarcasm.
Nope. That's probably for the best for everybody involved.
We brutalized him with sarcasm, Dak. It was
very satisfying. The king rises at your arrival, and the rest of the table follows suit before sitting down when you arrive at your places. The King Elgar holds up his glass to toast. To the heroes of Ivyfell, rewarded, rested, and eager for battle once more. Oh, well, hey. All right, great. The rest of the table makes their toast, and you are both encouraged to sit. The first course is brought out promptly after, served on plates made from shards of iridescent crystal and creatively portioned as tiny works of art rather than food. Hell yeah. The table starts to talk. A courtier beside you two turns her interest towards you, fussing with her hair as she asks, "So, will you two be making the journey to the front lines?" On the other side of you, the king clears his throat. I'm afraid I haven't had the chance to discuss that with them, Baroness. Caught with his intentions exposed a little earlier than planned, the king puts on his best smile and gestures for a servant who disappears off to fulfill a wordless request. It would be an honor, the greatest of them all, if you would both give us your aid. He folds his hands, placing them in front of himself as an anchor. Well, you will know, the Grind have been a scourge to these lands for far longer than anyone in the kingdom would have liked. There is not a countryman who is without one fallen family member. Oh no, I lost my whole family to them. The stain that they leave on our lands and on our people is not something I want to spread. I will hold them back, as my father and his father did before them, but it cannot be done without the aid of others, not without the help of people who have the strength to do so, like yourselves. His resolve cracks, and there is a glimpse of a desperate man beneath the charming charismatic. We need your help, as you have helped us in Ivyville.
Oh my goodness.
What kind of reaction do you two have? Do you decline the request? Cautious and untrusting, enthusiastic acceptance, awkward under the sudden spotlight.
Oh, definitely that one. Sassa's just like, deer in headlights. Oh my god, I'm technically not a fighter. Like, I fight, but I'm not technically a fighter. Oh my god, what do I do? Like, I'm technically someone who throws fireballs.
As you fumble for your words, it is clear that you have been put in an awkward position. Elgar quickly picks up a goblet and toast and smiles, returning to his regal performance. But let us talk of these matters in private later. Such talk of war and bloodshed is not for over dinner, as my mother would say. As the king moves to talk with the Baroness about her recent modifications to the country estate, it is clear that he has released you from your decision for now. One day you will need to make it, but for the time being you can go with the flow until that day comes. Perhaps talking it over between the two of you will help you come to a decision by daybreak.
Raz, I don't know if I'm prepared to go to war. Also, why am I wearing this dress? It's very clingy and everyone can tell exactly what shape I am. Is it hot? Yeah, I feel really warm. More wine, please. Thank you.
A little while later.
Keep it coming.
Yeah. After the second glass, Brass puts his hand on top as somebody goes to refill some water. You want your wits about you for this.
Oh, I want to remember that.
One or the other. Let's go with me on the first one, shall we?
Apple juice, please.
Sounds great. 2.
Chilled.
The king
With a
retreats
little umbrella in it.
to his library, where a small drinks cabinet is waiting to be uncovered, and a servant hands each of you a drink of your choice. More apple juice?
Lovely. Yes, thank you.
I'll have a whiskey, so will she. 2 honourable heroes such as yourselves, please, your majesty.
We just did what we thought was right.
I've been toasted more today than I have the rest of my life combined. There's no need. What would you have of us? You just sort of put us on the spot there is all. Your names will be carved into history and generations to come will honour you.
We get it.
You can dispense with the performance.
Just...
He drinks. He downs his.
He's like, what?
Whether you join in the toast or not and finds a comfortable chair. I'm sure you have lots of questions, and I will answer to the best of I'll do my best to answer them. What is it you want from us, truly? He lets out a sigh. The Grimed have been troublesome monsters for quite some time. The soldiers we train have fought tirelessly for generations to stop them from harming the civilians of our kingdom, but with each monster slain, they only seem to grow stronger. And no conflict has been without casualty until... we cannot keep losing soldiers. We need you to help us win this fight against them, for the good of the people. I hate that as a reason.
Emotional blackmail works really well on me.
Why are we being sent to the front lines?
Sounds very dangerous.
Anyone would no doubt panic with that piece of information being sprung on them. The Baroness should have held her tongue until I had time to brief the pair of you. Panic isn't, no, just... Whoa!
Maybe a little bit.
I'm sending my kingsman to oversee a report that we had this morning. The barrier at the border has been weakened, and we have been told that the Grimed have been pushing their way towards us. We don't have the resources to pull soldiers from the front lines, and I need to make sure we don't lose any before any of the bordering villages to another tragedy. I would like to send you along with them, given that you're already familiar with the troop. Following this, Sir Martin will accompany you to the front lines to visit the soldiers there and help them somehow, I hope.
Why us? Surely you have fighters more capable.
Every fight against these creatures has cost us at least one soul. Yours is the first I have heard of in my lifetime where there were no fatalities. Not even a civilian. I trust my men, and from what Sir Martin has told me, you were capable of withstanding the dread that surrounds these creatures. He leans forward, looking over clasped hands towards the front of you, the two of you. You might not consider yourselves extraordinary, but to me you are a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Oh, great. We're prophesized heroes.
Sassa grabs your hand. And clearly it's a, I need to hold on to something right now, sort of a grip.
Yeah. Fras guides you to a chair. What's the deal with Lord Verney?
Or as I like to call him, Dickface McGee.
Sass. The king. My apologies if his behavior is seen as rather unsettling. Elgar grimaces. As the high priest of the Zealous Church, he is always a more spiritual way of thinking about things. He served my father before he passed, and prefers that if I listen to his word first and foremost. He is always untrusting of strangers, especially those I put my faith in. I must confess, I am not the most devoted of followers, and he knows this. This is jealousy, perhaps? He smiles away despite his troubles. I'm sure he will warm to you in time.
Okay.
Hopefully, if we save the kingdom. We do not have a dark shard, but we have explored the palace.
Yes, we have.
Do you want to?
Could you tell us about the tapestry of the Star Soul Blade?
Oh,
I see you spent the afternoon exploring. The king chuckles and asks for another drink to be brought. It is the tapestry of a great hero. Is this the tapestry of the great hero? I have been meaning to have it restored. Lord Verney is adamant that I mistreat it, as if it wasn't just an item of decoration. The great hero came to us in the midst of Benevole's formation, when the heavens fell and left our land scorched and barren, and people were fractured and without order. Everyone struggled for resources and squandered them without thought for one another. Then, when the quartz was discovered, here in the city, the people fought one another in bloody tragedy, where all was forgotten and all that remained was greed. The great hero was the first to look beyond the temptation and seek out the Star Soul Blade. They made the sacrifices it took to forge it, and in doing so were able to cease the bloodlust and bring peace to Benevole, uniting us all in one kingdom. They taught the people how to survive on the land as it was now. Lord Verney would tell you of their purpose in forming the Celeste Church. Eventually, the capital was built, and things swiftly became as they are now. I believe, in the end, they died of a sickness. The king drank, growing silent. The night joy is growing old, and I am growing weary with it. I do hope you don't take insult, but I must retire for the night. The brief hours I get for sleep are absolutely necessary to me. Oh, absolutely, Your Highness. Look.
Quite tired as well.
We, I think we should... I've got a little voice in my ear that sounds upsettingly like my dad. Well, it sort of is, because basically what it says is, why are you not helping the king? He obviously needs you, you idiot.
I'm intimidated by the scope of this problem, but my family always believed in going where we were needed. And learning all we could along the way.
Yes. So I suppose that's us agreeing to help you, Your Highness.
I think we actually get to go talk about it in our apartments.
Yeah. The night has grown dark, and we'll give you a firm yes or no tomorrow. We need to
We just...
think. You sleep well. Sleep
Night.
better knowing that the answer is probably yes.
Because we've got a really good reason to say no.
The night has grown dark and heavy with the weight of the king's request. The palace around you falls abruptly silent as the guests retreat quickly away to their own accommodations and the staff make themselves busy in other areas so as not to bother the two of you. The apartment is dimly lit and refreshments have been left in case you may require them. But otherwise...
How many tiny courses did we have at dinner?
Oh, like I said, it was not big portions, but there were loads of them.
12. 12 tiny portions. I ate some bread. It's good comfort food.
Yeah, I dip it in olive oil. Dipping sauces. Oh, hell yeah.
We have to, don't we?
I mean...
How can we not?
Like he said, we may not think it's, like, big deal, but everybody else does. And if the Kingsmen we fought this afternoon are any indication of how good they actually are, yeah, they need the help.
I'm not even supposed to be that good a fighter. Beat him.
You've got the eye though. You can spot. You're quick.
I don't even carry weapons. Perhaps I just do magic and write things down.
Well, you've got me to stand behind.
Yeah, they'll never see me behind you.
So you just pop out, do your magic, pop back in again. I'll take the hit. I'll wrangle the grimed.
No, I'll just
Look,
stand at a distance.
you don't have to.
No. We were asked together and we should do it together. Besides, if we do this, maybe I can get that bounty off my head.
Yeah, I think we could make that a part of the deal.
And I want to keep the dress.
I think that is a given, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm probably not even gonna ask. I'm just gonna take it.
As the sun sets on the evening's events, your characters have a very brief moment to unwind. They might choose to spend the night sleeping to gain back some of their energy, but they might also find themselves unable to. In the time between sessions, why not collect your characters' thoughts and questions, or imagine what kind of dreams what might plague them? Ooh, what kind of dreams plague Sassa?
Ooh. Sassa has a very vivid dream about going to sleep surrounded by,
Good night, Ellie B.
surrounded like by her family and the other members of her traveling kind of group. And when she wakes up, she wakes up in the middle of the night and everybody's gone. She's just lying on the grass all alone, and she runs around yelling her family's names, but it's like they've disappeared, or like she's disappeared. She's not sure which way. And yeah, she wakes up and it's still in the middle of the night, and she goes and gets into bed with you. Like, not in a sexual way.
No.
She just kind of
doesn't want to be alone tonight.
climbs in, punches the pillow a few times, says don't ask, and goes back.
Oh, I'm asleep.
Oh yeah.
I'm out to it. I am, however, a little while later, I awake with a start, and I don't know if you're awake.
Let's say I've transferred myself into your room, but I'm asleep now.
Yeah, and I just sort of and I wake up and see you sleeping next to me, and think, wasn't like that when I pull the covers up over your shoulder and I roll over and I go back to sleep and say, good night, Sass. And I had a dream of fire and screams. Your character's ability hit points and ability points return to maximum. +1 to any skill of your choice. +5 ability points. You may swap your collected ability for either of the abilities below. Reason. Having practiced in diplomacy, you can try and find a way to persuade your opponent to find a peaceful resolution. Roll diplomacy against the opponent's guard. If you succeed, the opponent cannot attack for 1d6 rounds. If the opponent is able to flee as one of its actions, it can do this instead. the next time you take damage, it is halved. That's fortify.
Ooh.
And that's 1 AP. I quite like cleave. I'm probably going to keep it. But
So I'd have to lose my... So I
Yeah.
have resilience at the moment, which cancels any effects. So I could swap it for fortified.
or reason. But your diplomacy is rubbish, so I wouldn't bother.
Yeah. I might swap for fortified.
Yep. I like reason's dope, but I wouldn't. However, I'm going to take a +1 in spirit
Yeah.
just to not be shit at that.
What do you reckon? I can add another +1 to strength awareness.
I reckon awareness,
Yeah, make that a +2.
just because it is fairly ubiquitous. Like it's always we haven't had a session yet where we didn't need it.
Yeah, it's like perception.
Yeah,
It's always handy to not have shit perception, as I've discovered.
yeah. If perception is an option in your proficiencies, you take it. Up to 25 ability points. There
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
there's an eraser if you want to.
Oh.
Yeah. That's cool. So you can modify your character as well. You can swap out abilities. Because neither of us use the abilities we picked up. Like, Cleave is dope, I just didn't have a fight in which to use it.
Ooh.
So if you say no, what happens?
Yeah. So if we reject the king, refuse to accept our mission, you choose to use that Night of Silence to slip away from the palace, leaving a notice for your decline to the request in the apartments. No one stops you from making your escape, and the pair of you soon find yourself out on the country road again, returning to a simple life. In the days that follow, do you stay together? What kind of life do the two of you seek out? Within the week, there are reports of a tragedy at the border, a village swallowed by the grind, land lost beyond the border, and less and less soldiers returning from duty. The atmosphere in the country turns tense, people venture out less and less, and those who do travel between towns are eager for protection. Do you find a place to settle down and find safety in, or do you take up some of the jobs protecting travellers? News sends a shockwave through the country. The King Elgar III is dead, along with his retinue within the palace. Creatures have attacked at the court's capital, and the army is already too weakened at the border to return to help. Before anyone is able to secure their safety, war is rapidly on the horizon. The grimed flood the streets and forests of the kingdom. Without rule, the people turn to protecting what little they are able to, trying to find a desperate way to survive in this chaotic and blood-stained landscape. If you are travelling separately, each make a spirit roll. If you are travelling together, make a spirit roll and add both modifiers together. See your result in the table.
I think we'd be together.
Yeah.
So 1 from me and 5 from you. Or 4 from you.
So total?
Well, 6 + 3, 9.
9. You manage to make it to the court's capital to help those who you can there, but find the place overrun with monsters. Despite fighting your way through hordes of the beasts, you meet your end at the hands of a formless shadow. The shadow breaks you with nothing more than a breeze. The hollow voice echoes through your last thoughts a life broke.
Ooh. Well, we didn't do that.
We didn't do that.
It's like hey, you refuse the call to adventure, you die! I mean...
Yep. So basically, if you reject the king and the call to adventure,
You die.
You
Is there options where you don't die?
So this one, you slowly, you struggle to survive in this world, and eventually, you succumb to the dread that the grind brings. So you're not killed by one in a violent manner, but the dread overwhelms you
Yeah.
and kills you. And another one, you rally with some people to fight, and you die in battle. Another one, you manage to gather a small camp of survivors and build a shield around it. So basically, you manage to make create and protect a small group of survivors.
Yeah.
Is the only good option.
And that's an 11.
Yeah, basically, if you roll the best possible option, you live a half-life. It's
Yeah.
dead. We're going to war!
Yeah. Gonna stop that from ever happening. Well, that was super good. And that was a session, which wound up being almost exactly 3 hours.
There we go.
And we did basically everything in that book.
Technically, we did more than if
We
we'd
really-
been strictly following the book. We wouldn't have got to go to the market.
Or stagger our way through the castle. But I don't see why not.
Hey, we're trying to kind of experience as much as possible.
Yeah. There is a degree of replayability that we're sort of invalidating by doing that, but...
Yeah. But hey,
I don't know if I'd replay it again, though. If I did, I would have to... I would be interested in replaying it, but as a DM. Just for a little bit, because I reckon you can definitely
you could
have
use
someone
it as an
being...
adventure guide. Yeah. The other interesting way to do it would be to go through as a rogue, because...
Yes. And then you can, do a not so nice run. Do a chaotic evil run.
We played kind of heroic adventurers, so you could go through as a rogue who doesn't give a crap.
Yeah.
Just steal a bunch of shit and then run away at the end of the story. Yes.
Make sure you have a massively high spirit roll, so at the end you can get the good result. When you say, "Nah, I don't want to help you," to the king.
He's asking a lot, to be fair.
It is quite a big ask, but at the same time, in fairness to him, he called it. Well, that was super fun and lovely, and when the third book comes out, we will come back to this, because this was lovely.
Yeah, I want to know what happens next.
Yeah, I wanna help.
It's a cool little world they've built.
Yeah. It's the narrative explains very neatly why it is quite self-contained. It's like this little bubble of safety in amongst the horrifying world beyond it. And yeah, it's quite fun to play the definitely prophesized heroes thing.
We're important!
Yeah. It's like, it was just so bad, like... What?
It's like, what were we supposed to do?
Literally, I have never heard of somebody taking out a grind without someone dying. I was like, in fairness, the bear did die.
The bear's dead.
The bear's dead.
Does that count?
And that was really sad.
And so is my confidence in my ability to throw balls of magic light at things and hurt them.
We really need to get you practicing again with that.
I don't do a lot of combat. I'm
Hey,
a
look,
pacifist.
as it turns out, maybe you're just shit with the balls of magic light, and in fact, we should get you a sword, because honestly...
I can beat people up with a stick.
Dalton can definitely attest to how good you are with that.
Very nimble.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been super fun. But we better go and raid somebody now. Jack's streaming Baldur's Gate 3. We could drop a raid on Jack's webhead.
Jack.
So throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell Jack where you came from and show him the love like we always do.
There are 3 Baldur's Gates for you at the moment.
I'm not surprised by this.
So much it's all over Twitter as well. It's just Baldur's Gate everywhere, and I don't play Baldur's Gate, so I don't get most of it.
So we will go and drop a raid on Jack. Jack's a lovely bloke. So throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell Jack where you came from. Show him the love like we always do. We will be back with Jack on Thursday evening, as in I will be back with Brendan and Jack and Ellie B. On Thursday evening for some more Humblewood for our 3-year anniversary at 7 p.m. AWST. So, Keren, who the heck have you been this evening? And could you tell me about Ukraine?
Okay. Hi, I'm Keren, otherwise known as Mother of Bunnies. I'm a performer, a writer. I won't be here on Thursday because I will be at my grandma's 100th birthday dinner.
Amazing.
Yeah, my granny is turning 100 on Thursday, which is kind of wild.
Beat the Queen.
Yeah, she did beat the Queen. Oh, she's getting a letter and everything.
From the King.
From the King, which is all but you know, she's getting the royal letter. My aunt organised it. She doesn't know. It's going to be great. Yeah, and then we're having a kind of larger. It's just family on Thursday, and then we're having a party on Sunday, where the extended kind of people get to come and tell her how amazing it is that she's made it to a century.
I am extended.
Well, you could come on Thursday.
I could come on Thursday, but I'm not available.
Frankly, I'm only going because I got guilt tripped into going.
Hey, Tony.
Like, I wanted to go, but we were meant to be streaming, and then they're like, no, you don't have to be here. I'm like, okay, I'll go then.
Yeah, and then I changed my mind, and actually you should have been, but never mind.
It would have been handy for me to be available on Thursday, but never mind. This is how the cookie crumbles. Anyway, also, the Ukraine. They've kind of been in a war for the last year and a bit, which has been a shit. So if you have some coins,
some digital currency that you're not using right now, feel free to follow the link in chat and donate to the Emergency Action Appeal. This is a collaboration between a number of Australian charities and not-for-profits to support Ukrainian refugees. So yeah, you can follow the link, you can just donate, or you can go through and pick which organisation you would like to direct your funds towards.
Splendid.
They will receive it to my screen.
Thank you very much, my love. Yeah, we've been playing Roll Table for Two by the wonderful Fights and Fancy. Check them out there at their website, fightsandfancy.co.uk.
Their stuff is so cute.
They've got some really cool stuff, and there's a few freebie bits on there as well. Some freebie 5e D&D resources, which is very, very cool and generous of them. It's all nicely formatted, and a strong recommendation from us.
They ship internationally, but a bunch of this stuff is available as digital downloads as
Yes. That's probably how I will acquire the other books, to be honest.
well. Shipping from the UK to Australia is
That's what's going to be
right
killer.
now.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
What?
I just realized what I'm getting my godson for his birthday.
It's a great idea.
I reckon he and his sister would like that.
Are they old enough for that?
He'll be 5. But there's nothing scary in it.
No, it's more whether at 5 you have the...
I don't think he can read very well. Maybe I'll wait a year.
Yeah, maybe next year. I don't know, guys. How advanced are you at 5? Can you handle basic RPG?
He's a pretty smart kid.
Tell you what,
Give him
ask his mum.
His dad's PhD and his mum is a science teacher.
Ask Katrina.
Yeah, I'll ask Kat and see what she reckons.
Just be like, you think your kid can handle this?
I was like, hey, I have a thing I'd like to send Daniel.
They'd probably need a parent to help them.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But it, like, the parent reads the thing and they make the choices.
Yeah, that could be. I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check with
that
Kat.
was my thinking. I'll ask Katrina.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsairs Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with my lovely wife, Keren, the Mother of Bunnies, and all my splendid friends. I will be back Thursday evening. I'll also be back Monday night for some more Humblewood of Midnight and Madness. The guys have finally gotten out of the Amber Temple.
Alive!
Which is actually quite unusual. Apparently, it is the #1 place for campaigns to end in Barovia. I did not know this. But yeah, I've spoken to 3 different people who have thus far told me that the Amber Temple was where they stopped playing. In 2 instances, the campaign ended. That wasn't a TPK. They just stopped playing there. It kills players dead, or kills stories dead. And I was like, I quite liked it. I thought it was good, but I did modify it a little bit. But there was only 3 of them. I think they did very well. So yeah, we'll go away from here now. Raid Jack, say hi to Jack, show him the love, and we'll be back on Thursday night. Say goodbye, Keren.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.